Hey, Loco, what's going on, man?
Hey, how are you, dude?
Good, man, and you?
I'm pretty good as well, yeah. I've been playing some Protoss, though, today, so... I'm not too warmed up with Zerg in a minute, but, yeah, it should be fun, man.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be interesting. I appreciate you, you doing this, man.
Hey, no worries, no worries. Happy to help. So I saw you, you perfectly lined up your MMR. Like, you're right at 2,500.
Did I? I didn't realize.
You rounded it up perfectly. You don't usually see round numbers like that. That's pretty.
Dude, there's a good amount of losses in there that contribute to that. So
it's okay.
It's unfortunate, but that's why I'm here, right? So
yeah. So for those of you unfamiliar, we're gonna be doing 3 coaching sessions for now, I believe, and then yeah, let's try and help you climb the ladder. Do you have like a certain goal in mind of like a rank you want to get to?
Yeah, I'd love to be like platinum or diamond. I think.
Okay.
Like for me, like. Diamond seems like almost pretty impossible. I'm sure everyone kind of thinks that when they're at this level. For me, I cannot get past. It's just like impossible for me to get past like gold 2 right now.
Okay.
It's interesting. There's not a particular matchup that I'm having trouble with, but it's just that I don't know, man. The players just I don't know. I just feel like if I have a better kind of understanding, I'd be able to kind of. You know, figure out in all situations of what to do. Yeah,
I can definitely help out with that. So I was wondering, how long have you been playing for? Like, do you have like a... Actually, I can look at like your career summary, I guess. Oh, since a long time.
I played a long time ago, like a super long time ago, and then I just
2011
back again. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, like I haven't played maybe like on and off for like since 2011, but like really not even anything for like probably like the last year. I've been playing more and more.
All right, cool. Yeah, so I see you play some team games and all that as well. Nice.
Yeah, we did platinum on the team games. I think I even got diamond like on 4s maybe or something like that.
All right. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, nice. Yeah, usually like leagues are always a little harder. Like I don't really know what it means to like say like beat diamond league in 4v4, you know, because I mean, I don't really play that many team games and most of the competition seems to be in 1v1, but I mean, if you enjoy playing team games, like obviously that's awesome.
It's interesting because if I'm on a really good team, then I'll like if I have really good team members, then obviously they kind of carry things a little bit. But for me, I think late game is the hardest thing. Like really early game, like I'm pretty solid because it's like more Zergling, more Bane, like roaches. But like late game, I don't know what on earth I'm doing pretty much.
All right, I can definitely
don't know what I'm doing. Like, oh, should I be making like I'm always trying to make like how you say always trying to make like army and drones, and I'm like, okay, what the fuck am I doing? Like, I don't really know.
Okay,
you know?
Yeah. So. Yeah, no worries. No worries. I can definitely help out there. So when it comes to like your current win-loss ratio, yeah, so you have really, like your ZVZ is at 68%, and then ZVT at 39, and ZVP at 48. Do you like cheese regularly in any of these matchups?
No, I don't cheese at all, really. What I kind of do is I'll scout and I'll figure out, like, are they going heavy gas? Like, do they have anything yet? And if not, then I'll kind of, like, run in there with Zerglings, right? For the most part, I almost always go Speedling and Baneling, and then depending on the situation, if they're going, like heavy tech, I'll go Roach, depending on the situation. I feel pretty comfortable against Terran early game. I guess... a lot of those losses are like probably late game. I feel like probably Protoss. I feel Protoss and Zerg. I feel like the least confident in Zerg. When I see a Zerg versus Zerg, I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah. So it's more like a response kind of thing. Like if you see, okay, they're playing really dumb or they're playing really greedy, I'll just go and run over there with a bunch of Zerglings and finish it, but not by default like Zergling rush every game, for example, because there's quite a few people that climb up on the ladder. Like, for example, you could probably push into Platinum just playing the same cheesy build every time.
Right.
But then as soon as they like patch that build or your opponents like get better, right? Because at some point you're going to just start facing better opponents. Like those kind of strats don't really work very well anymore. So I usually advise people to just play like the more macro focused style and just try and play the longer game, because it's just... you know, you're actually going to become a better player rather than like, you know,
just
short-term
like, okay,
gains.
Depending on the cheese. Yeah, because like I used to do that like years and years ago. Like, oh, just Zergling rush them, you know, go to like try to get gas and then cancel out the gas and go straight 200, get a, you know, like I try to do this whole spawning pool early rush thing, but it just late game, I'm like way behind. So
All right. Yeah, cool. So usually the way this works, like we usually start off by a couple of replays, so with a couple of replays. I will be taking notes as well, so I'll be writing down like current statistics and what I would advise you to change for like next coaching session and what we can be working on. I'll send those notes obviously after coaching as well to you. Like, I mean, you can take your own notes as well if you wanted to, but I'll write them down too if you like that. And then yeah, hopefully we can like see some improvement in like I believe it's like 3-ish weeks or so from now, something like that.
Okay. Yeah, man, whatever you say in terms of, like, I watch a lot of Cyril and stuff, and I've seen your stuff on Ravager and that sort of thing, and I always try to go that route. But I think it'd be good to see, like, okay, like, you're just messing up, like, you're not doing 17, you know, hatchery or whatever, so I think it'd be good to see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so a lot of those, like, top level
replays, so I don't know what I'm doing here, so.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So, like, real quick, like, those top level games, they're great, obviously, to watch, and they're good for, like game knowledge, I guess, but say like you play the same build as Cyril, you can die to a lot of stupid stuff if you mess up for like 1 second, right? So a lot of those build orders rely on like perfect Roach micro and perfect queen positioning and all that. So usually up to, I would say, about Platinum League or so, I do recommend people to play like mostly the same build order in all matchups and just really try and like nail that one down before like branching out to you know, different strategies on different maps and different matchups and all that. But we'll see that in just a little bit. So okay. The way you can share a replay, I just promoted you to party lead. If you go to replays at the top, okay, and then you click on the replay you wanted to watch, then there's a button at the bottom that says watch with others.
Watch with others. Got it. Yeah. Okay. Do you want to just do like kind of any one?
Yeah, let's do one for like each matchup. I think that'll probably be helpful.
Okay. Let's do like a ZVP. Start with that.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, and then in the lobby itself, if you could like right-click my name and then promote me to lobby host, I can control the replay. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. You should have that.
Yep. Thanks. Now, this actually kind of works. Like back in the early days of StarCraft, you didn't have the watch with others, and it kind of sucked. But it's one of the few mechanics that actually works really reliably.
This is the first time I'm doing this, so.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. Yeah. So I can I should be paused right now, right?
Oh, yeah.
Cool. All right. So what's like your general go-to in ZVP? Like other than, you know, if they play really greedily, like you send a bunch of Zerglings in, do you have like a plan most of these games?
Yeah. So that's kind of like where I struggle. What I'll try to do is like, and I have some interesting conversations with these guys. This guy's name's Starbucks, and I'm like, America lives on Dunkin'.
Okay. I was gonna say like.
I just try to have fun, and I lost this game from talking shit. So what I'll try to do is I'll scout and figure out if they're going like early gas. I'll always try to be a base ahead of them, and if they're going like heavy gas or Stargate, I'll run over there, pretty much for the most part.
Okay.
And then that's kind of like that's not really a plan, but that's kind of the plan.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Sure. Cool. Let's have a look. You will pay for that remark. He's feeling really strongly about Starbucks.
Yeah, I said probably. Yeah, because I was already behind at this point. As you can see, like I missed the hatchery on time. I usually try to go 17 hatch. And I always try to do spawning pool over in the corner so I catch the cheese.
If they like cannon rush or something? Yeah, do you see a lot of cheese right now yourself?
Yeah, actually. A good amount. Probably like 25%.
Okay. Cool. Let's speed through this one a little bit. Yeah, so there's like some build orders that I do think are very helpful. Primarily because they give you like a certain timing attack to hit. So, for example, like there's like the old school build called like the Roach +1 speed timing attack. So basically you get +1 missile and Roach speed to finish up at the same time. And then you push across the map right as you hit that power spike. Usually those builds work really nicely.
Detected. Trust Loco.
Because like you're talking about with like the actual like power up like in the
you get like a power spike because Roach speed and then +1 finish up at the exact same moment. So if you like like it's nice because usually it gives you like a certain goal to aim for, and I found at least when I first started playing the game like that really helped me improve quite a bit because I would actually have a goal, right? So most of the time I think, especially up to I would probably say about Diamond League or so, Late game is obviously awesome, but most of the game should probably end before that moment. Because if you play with like a timing attack kind of focus, usually, you know, your attack will just end up killing them if you execute it well, and then you actually have like a target to aim for, you know. Because if you just play passively and you just sort of let them do whatever, and you're kind of just doing, you know, whatever, it's really difficult to get like a good gauge on the situation, or like on the like a good impression of the matchup right now. Because at this point we don't really know exactly what he's got. Like he's on one base. We've seen a couple of gateways.
And that's all I saw. So I figured he was gonna go like Zealot, you know what I mean, or Stalker. So I went kind of like try to mass Lings. I think I'd go try to get a base here in a minute. But I did Roach here back at home, and that was kind of like all I figured that would be. I don't even, what do you do in this kind of situation? I mean, do you just kind of scout better, or what do you?
Yeah, so most of the time in these kind of scenarios, so I actually really like what you were doing here. So you were making a lot of drones first, and then you started making army when you saw he was still on one base. So usually that's the goal. So if you know he's on one base, right, he can support a maximum of 22 workers. So that would be 16 on minerals and then 6 in gas on one base, right?
Yeah.
So if you are in a situation where your opponent is on one base and you're not entirely sure what he's going for, if you know for a fact that it's one base, as soon as you have a little bit more economy than him, so right now, for example, you're at 26 workers and he's at 23. Assuming you spend all your money, you should end up with just more stuff, right? Does that make sense? Like the logic behind that?
Yeah. Yeah.
So one thing I would recommend doing at this point, for example, is keep scouting if he is expending. Because if he's not expending, it will probably be some sort of all-in. So you could do that in this game by like sending a Zergling across the map and just, you know, making sure that there's no base taken on his side.
Gotcha.
But I mean, it looks like your instinct here is kicking in though. Like something's not right.
Yeah, I'm like, oh shit. Okay, I gotta do something. And then I also do like another queen at each base to try to creep spread, inject on time.
Yep, I like that a lot. Yeah, getting extra queens is really good. Okay. Yeah, so for example, like in this case, since it's just a one base push, we really don't need the third base, right? Like all we really need to do is just prevent this attack from happening or from dealing like a lot of damage, and you should be okay.
So you don't go a third base when you know he's only like one base. You just try to like max out the 2.
Yeah, so in Zerg versus Zerg, you want to match the amount of bases that your opponent has, or maybe be one up. And in ZVT and in ZVP, you always want to be one base up on your opponent. Now, the higher you climb up on the ladder, the less you see one base pushes. So usually 3 bases is completely safe. But just always think like, okay, 1 base more than my opponent is what I'm aiming for.
Okay.
Let me actually write a couple things down as well. So in ZVP and ZVT, always try to be 1 base up. And one really big thing, so you don't have to get too fancy with scouting and stuff, but just try and figure out if they are expending. So if they are on 1 base, scout for their natural. If they are on 2 bases, scout for where they might be taking their 3rd base.
Okay.
By the way, I haven't asked you, what hotkey setup do you use? Do you have like a hotkey layout that you currently use?
I do army on 1, 2 on hatchery, 3 on like a scout. And then if there's any like particular like skill on a specific like army unit, then I'll put them on 4.
Okay, that's good. And do you use like grit or standard or like there's like a bunch of fancier layouts as well that people like to go for? But
whatever you recommended, I think I followed a video you did. I just don't do like F1, F2, F3, like that sort of thing. Like I don't do any of that. That's too much for me.
Yeah. So say like you want to like select larva on the hatchery. Is that hotkey S or hotkey Q?
2S, 2S, and then like D to like make drones.
Okay. Yeah. That's the standard hotkeys. That's totally fine. I was just wondering. So separate army hotkeys. So you don't really use the all army hotkey too often?
No.
Cool. I like how you're scuffing at that already. It's like, all army hotkey?
That's like the worst thing you could do. I'm like, okay, let me turn that shit off right now.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's really good. So that's honestly like one of the biggest things, especially for people that are like in Gold League and stuff. Like that's one of the biggest habits to break ever. Like if you've been playing StarCraft 2 since 2011 with the all army hotkey, like it's gonna be tough to change that up. Right. But no, that's really good. So no all army hotkey, that's really good.
And I also do space for the for each base. So like I'll space to go to larva inject. which has helped me a lot. Like I've actually like won a lot more games doing that, I think.
Okay, yeah, that's good. Yeah, you could incorporate camera hotkeys for sure, like the F1, F2, F3, F4 thing.
Okay.
But yeah,
I don't really see when I would use it. Like, how would I even use it in this scenario? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like it quite a bit, especially like say there would be like a drop in my natural. I can quickly hit F2 and just go over there without having to move my mouse from the center of the screen. So it might be a habit you want to get into, but it's something you can definitely incorporate as well at a later time. But
got it.
Yeah, not the end of the world to not have that at this point.
Okay. Like this right here, like what would I even do in this situation? Like I thought I would win at this point. I start making like more people at home, but I'm losing pretty bad here.
Yeah, so when playing defensively, and you know that this is gonna be just one base Protoss, right? So say like we've checked their natural and we know this is just one base Protoss. You always want to be fighting on creep. So
yeah,
when playing defensively, always fight on creep. Main reason for that is that the queens can help out as well, and your Zerglings are just way faster, so they set up those like surrounds and whatnot quicker, so the less of them die. So just try and keep that in mind, right? So a queen in a one-on-one battle wins against a stalker. So if you were to have the 4 queens here in that battle, like you would have absolutely smashed that army.
Gotcha. Do you have the queens on a separate hotkey?
Yeah, yes. So I usually have all of the queens on a separate hotkey. I usually use hotkey 5 myself, but I do think it's really helpful to have those separately hotkeyed, yes.
Yeah, I think this is where it kind of put me back, right? And then you also heal on the creep, right?
Yeah. So if you could fight like closer to the hatchery, and your queens could help out here, and your units spawn closer to the battle, it makes a pretty big difference here. Okay. Now you should still be okay though. Like you can always, whenever you notice, okay, I'm flooding quite a bit of money here, just always keep adding on more queens. Okay. In ZVP, the standard at the pro level is to go for 5 queens right now. That seems to be what most of the pros go for at this point. So you could definitely like add on, you know, you could add on up to like 10. You'd be fine up to like 10. Usually it's better than you know, having a bunch of like minerals not doing you any good. Okay.
So what's the purpose of having all the queens as opposed to like kind of going like 3 like things of lings?
Yeah. So okay. So usually priority when it comes to like spending minerals is making sure that you have all of your larvae spent first, and then you usually, if you have leftover money, you go ahead and build additional queens. So at this point in the game, for example, you have 2 larvae, so you could technically make 2 roaches. And whenever like you've spent all of your larvae and you glance over in the top right and you're like, okay, fuck, this is, you know, a lot of minerals still, you could definitely just add on a couple of queens, and it's really good. Like queens are probably, well, not probably, like they're the best Zerg unit for sure. Like the queens are insanely good.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh yeah, actually a good question right there. Good catch by Drone Rush. Do you all army, or wait, do you attack move here on the units, or do you use? No, I think you attack move behind the units, right?
Attack move behind.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah, but it's weird though, because I always have issues like when I'm in the base, like I'm trying to get like their drones, like I'll A click and then always like, you know, like I don't know, like kind of. If I wanted to target like the drone specifically, I always have issues with that. Like,
right. So like, say you do like a run by.
Yeah, and I want to just kill their drones, like it starts hitting whatever's hitting me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So the reason for that is like units that are mining are a lower attack priority than units that are attacking. And as soon as they like change those units to like say repair, or say like they change the unit to like say the workers are attacking, the priority evens out. So then your work, or like then your run by or whatever like attacks whichever is closest.
Right. Is there a way to like just target the drones? I mean, this is not even important right now, but
no, that's a good question. Now you gotta either right click on them or you gotta put your units on hold position. So say like you could get into this mineral line right over here right now, and there'd be like 2 zealots. You can see the ping, by the way, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So say you have a couple over there, and then like the zealots are trying to kill your Zerglings or whatever. To prevent the Zerglings from attacking the zealots, you could just put them on hold position in the middle of the mineral line, and then they will kill whenever a unit passes by.
Just like S, right? S is like stop position.
No, it's the hold position one. So there's stop, and then there's also hold position. So I think by on the standard hotkeys, I think that's hotkey H.
Okay, gotcha.
So stop command is basically like, okay, stop doing whatever you're doing right now, and then hold position is when they stop moving.
Got it. Okay, cool. By the way, I'm just watching you on Twitch. I don't actually see your thing in the replay. Like, I don't actually see you moving in the replay. Should I?
Oh yeah, no. You can't watch. You can't like follow my vision in.
Yeah, so this works anyway.
In a replay, yeah. Like that'd be cool if you could follow that as well. But... yeah, so in these kind of scenarios, like fighting on creep is so beneficial. Like it helps a lot to just be fighting on creep here. And if like, so spending priority, I'll actually write it down. So spending priority in these kind of scenarios is larva first, then additional queens, and then if you still have leftover money, static defense. So say like we'd have, like right now, for example, we have 1 larva. Say we'd like be producing 2 queens as well. We'd probably still have like 500 minerals in the bank, right? So imagine like you had 5 spine crawlers over here right now. Like say you had to have 5 spine crawlers in a natural.
I see.
Yeah, he could not do anything there.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, because I go roach. Like I like masked roaches with like I have like a huge economy, but he's just messing me up. Like, would you go additional hatchery too, or no? They have a lot of.
Yeah, so like I think the reason why you have a lot of money at this point and you have a good economy here is because like we've missed a couple of injects. So when you have like 2 bases, well, I would say this is like, yeah, 1.5 base or so saturated. Well, a little bit more than that, but you have like a good saturation on 2 bases. You do need, even if you hit perfect inject, an additional hatchery just to spend all of the larvae on Zerglings.
Okay.
So whenever like you're in a limited larva situation like here, I really like the idea of going roaches at that point because they're just, you know, more like larva inefficient, I suppose, but therefore better in these kind of scenarios because you get like a bigger army off of it.
Gotcha.
Because like these 14 Zerglings could have been 7 roaches, you know what I mean? Like they add up quite quickly.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so definitely fight with queens here whenever you can. Queens are amazing. I would say though, like the biggest thing. Hold up. Why am I writing this down over here? Right. The biggest thing in this one is scout for their natural. So scout for their expansion. So be it like the natural or the 3rd base, you always want to know roughly what's going on.
So would you do that with a Zergling at this point?
Yeah. You do it either with an Overlord or a Zergling. So if you keep the Overlord alive, you can oftentimes put it on like these like little pillars.
Yeah.
If you have to stream open, like
you might be able to get that? I thought they did, right?
Sorry?
The stalkers.
No, if you put them like every single map seems to have one of those pillars right now, or like a couple of those. If you put it like perfectly in the center without high ground vision, so without like a prism or like an observer or something over there, the stalker can't hit it. Okay.
Because I did that, like you'll see in one of these games. I like someone did that to me, and I was like, "What the?" I didn't know what was happening. Like I'd never seen that before. It was like the first time. So I tried it, and then the stalker killed me. So I was like, "Okay, that shit doesn't work."
Yeah.
But yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, you gotta have it like perfectly in the center, because if it's like 1 pixel off, it seems to like mess up.
Okay, gotcha. So you would even scout right now. Okay, I mean, what would I even do with that info, right? I mean, if I knew that they had expanded, like what would I even do with that? Like try to like run over and get them or something? Or?
Yeah. So okay, so say like you have a Zergling right over there right now, right? Like say like the front Zergling runs over to their natural, and you see it's not there.
Right.
That would immediately, in my mind, make this a Protoss all-in. Like, he's trying to end the game with this right here, right now. Because the thing is, every minute that goes by right now, you're getting more money because you have 2 bases and you have more workers than him, right? So as long as we defend this, you're going to be in a really, really good spot. So all you really need to do at this point in the game is just make non-stop army and prevent, you know, yourself from losing at this point, right? So knowing that they're on 1 base and knowing that they're going for an all-in should usually make it a little bit easier to decide. Now, say like you see this push coming up and they also have an expansion on the low ground. Most of the time, that means it's just going to be some pressure, and then they will try and fall back to their expansion. But if there's no expansion at all,
then he's kind of like, I can get him if I defend. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Like at that point, like all you need to do is just defend.
That makes sense. Okay, that's good. You don't learn a lot of this stuff so when you first start. So that's good.
Yeah. Ah, it's totally like it happens, right? Like you know, like maybe when I'm pointing it out, it's like really obvious or whatever. But these are things that never occurred to me either when I started playing as well. It's like, okay, it makes sense when someone tells you it like that, but
right, but yeah, you think it's like common. But I guess my question also is like I should be spending. So if I have larva, and someone just wrote this too, like should I spend it on the most expensive units? Just try to mass units? Like should I just try to get as many units as possible? Should I try to prioritize roaches? I mean, like I guess roach, zergling are kind of like almost like pretty both effective with stalker. Like what would you kind of do? Like,
so I think in these kind of scenarios, especially early game, like Roach Ravager is pretty much perfect. So Zerglings are really, really good, especially if you have the larva to support them. So an easy way to like look at it, I suppose, is like, say you make an ultra, right? Like ultras are like, what is it? Like 300 minerals, 200 gas, and 1 larva, right? So they're really expensive in minerals and gas, but really cheap in larva. Zerglings, I mean, you get 2 for 50 minerals. They cost no gas, but they're really expensive in larva. So while Zerglings are cheap when it comes to resources, most of the time you gotta like manage the larva as well. Basically what it comes down to is like, you're not just trying to spend all of the larva to try and get a really big army going, but you're also trying to like get your money down to 0. So while we're getting like more income right now, and we're getting like, you know, more mineral income and gas income than him right now, we're also trying to get that money down to 0 so we can actually spend it on units. So say you would have like 3 hatcheries right now and all the injects are going perfect, then I think Zerglings are a really good choice. But in this scenario right here, because we missed an inject inside of the main base, or maybe even 2, I think you're probably better off like going for roaches and then maybe even morphing in a couple Ravagers or something like that.
Got it. And I do the rapid fire with the Ravagers too, and that tends to work out pretty well.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that. Yeah, that's good. Nice.
Yeah, I rapid fire all the units. That was like a big thing once I started doing that.
Yep. Yeah, it makes a huge difference. Like it makes the game so much easier.
This is like a loss here. Like this is where he gets me. This is like the end of it.
Yeah, so it's just honestly like these kind of games, like they might feel like it wasn't even close, but this is like one of those builds that very much relies on him getting like 1 additional stalker every wave, you know what I mean? And then at some point they have an overwhelming mass.
Right.
I think mostly like here with this fight, like fighting on creep and getting the queens in the battle and then making roaches rather than zerglings would make this defense super straightforward.
Got it.
By the way, while we're at it as well, like as far as settings go, well, I guess you have the stream open, right? If you look at your own settings, it might be helpful to see which ones you have. Maybe you have like some settings a little bit different than mine.
I did everything that you did before.
Okay.
But I think I just reformatted my computer, so it might be different. So kind of change it up. Simple command card. What is that? Damaged.
Oh, simple command card? Do you have that one on?
Yeah, what is that?
It makes like the command card, like the thing in the bottom right hand corner where all of the commands are. You know, it makes it more simple.
Okay, yeah, maybe that's what I got.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that, like maybe that. Yeah, that also. I believe the simple command card also doesn't show you hold position. So you can turn that one off. Like you don't need the simple.
Okay, well that makes sense why I don't know what I'm doing with that. So that's good.
And then one other setting that usually is helpful as well to change. Where is it? Oh yeah, under mouse and keyboard. Your scrolling settings. I think the default is like 20%.
Yeah, I have it at 40.
Okay. Yeah. Good.
Yeah, that helped me a lot too. Yeah.
Yeah, because the default was just it's too slow. Yeah. I feel like you're constantly like, I don't know, you're walking through snow or something. Like everything is like super tedious.
Trying to move it and I'm not going anywhere. It slows me down.
Yep.
Cool. Okay. So that's ZVP. Do you want to do a ZVT?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
And then after this, like after these games, we'll do like 1 ZVT and then 1 ZVZ. And then I'll try and show you around a build that I think is helpful to execute in these kind of games.
Okay. Let's find a good one. ZVT. Okay. I don't even know what these are, but I'll try this one.
Yeah. It's like just a general idea. Thank you. T-square. Oof. It's not a lot of jokes to make about that one.
I had a guy named Joe Exotic, and we just went back and forth. It was an interesting thing.
Wait. Your name is... Wait, I'm confused.
No.
Wasn't your name in game? Is this a different account?
No, that's me. That's me.
Wait, I checked your profile and it said MikeyLightning, and it like didn't have the N and the G at the end.
What is that? Like a BattleNet thing? I don't even know. Dude,
but
I'm
like,
so like new to this stuff. I just like play. I don't even know any of this.
Yeah, no, I don't know either, man. Like, I've been playing for a long time, but I'm not sure either.
I don't even know what that is. You said like hold command. I'm like, what? I don't even know what that is. I've never heard of that before. I just like, I just make drones and army. I just roll over there and see what's going on. So now this is like the next level type of thing.
Yeah. But if you click on the hatchery right now, you see like a different command card in the bottom right, right? You should see a different one. Like, oh no, you have the same one.
Oh, I do now. Yeah.
So like, oh, say like click on a drone maybe. Like you should have like a hold position button. It's the third one.
Yeah, what is this now? This is kind of this is a little complicated, no? How do you okay, well B. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so the top left one is moving, so just regular moving. Like you probably use right click for that. You could technically like use a hotkey for that. I don't know why you would want to do that. Then the second one is stop. Then it's hold position and then patrol. And then the one next to that is
would have been really good to have. I was wondering how you had this. You know, like I see you play and I'm like, what is that like screen? I've never seen that before.
Well, there you go.
So that's good to know. Okay, cool.
All right, so we'll just look mostly at like the. Oh, you said you like also struggled a little bit in the late game, right? We can probably
late game, yeah, all the time.
Cool. Yeah, so usually I think it's very useful to like try and like perfect the first 5 minutes because they really make a huge difference. Just cleaning up like the first 5 minutes of the game is such a big. Oh my god, you killed that SCV.
Dude, that's what it's pretty interesting, right? Like I'm pretty solid at that. When he comes through, like I wait on it, bro. That's like how I know the game's gonna go.
He sprung the trap, dude. Like
yeah, I wait for him to roll through there. Like I don't know, that's like some diamond level shit right there.
Yeah, as long as you're not chasing it all the way down the ramp, I guess it's okay.
And then I think he's not gonna scout me. I got him, and then he fucks me up anyway. So it's always fun.
It's all good.
So I do 17 hatch. Then I'll do like 18, 19 spawning pool, and then I'll put everyone into gas. To try to get like the exact timing for the the speedling, and then I'll do speedling and roach on each. Then I'll throw drones into the second base depending on what I'm scouting. And in this time, he obviously ends up, I think, getting my Overlord. I can't even scout him.
Yeah.
So I just make sure he doesn't have a second base. And then that's kind of, I didn't really have anything there to do.
Yeah. So this map has like a similar thing too. It's this little pillar over here. Like there's like little doodads pretty much on all the maps. Like it's hard to
that's actually what I was going for. Funny enough, that's what I was trying to go for. I think. Maybe
okay,
it's not but
yeah. So you can like on all the maps they've made it in such a way that like if they open up marine. Like conventionally inside of their main base, like obviously if they put a barracks in the middle of the map, they might be able to get the Overlord. But on other maps, like they're designed in such a way that you can hide the Overlord without like getting into trouble with it in like a standard game, so to say.
Got it. Okay. Is that a pretty good, decent build though? Would you recommend like opening up with hatchery and spawning pool like that, or?
Yeah. So I saw in the games, like in this game and then the previous one as well, you went for the gas first, and then like we went for the natural a little bit later.
Yeah, I max out 14, and then I'll do Overlord, and then I'll do gas, and then I'll make another drone. And I don't know if that's like normal or not. You know what I'm saying? So like I'll decrease one, and then I'll make another.
Detected.
Yeah.
Drone.
Okay. So the standard to get Zergling speed started, just like you did here, is to go 13 Overlord. There you go and drone up until 16 and get a 16 hatch. Then it's 18 gas and then 17 spawning pool.
Okay.
So that's like the standard. And then you can basically go at 100 gas. You can go link speed. So that will line up like perfectly. So if you go 16 hatch, 18 gas, 17 pool, and you throw in 3 drones right away, you have 100 gas right when the spawning pool finishes as well. So it just is a little bit cleaner because right now like we make the gas, and then like there's nothing in the gas. You know what I mean? Like right now it's basically like that drone could have been mining.
I see. Okay.
So a drone like a worker mines for about like between 0.8 and then 1 mineral a second on average. So this is like, it's like basically like 20 to 30 minerals lost or so. You know what I mean? Like maybe even a little bit more than that.
Okay, got it.
Well, you made up for it though with that SCV kill.
Yeah, that's the way you do it. That happens like every like 3 games. Like I'll do something like that. Like I just wait for them to come through that way.
Yeah, it will happen less and less as you climb up on the ladder though. It's sad, man. Right. Nobody does it.
That's what I figured. Yeah, whenever it happens, I'll just enjoy it. So
it's actually like, it's pretty much game over though if you get it on high level because you lose so much scouting info. Like they have to play so safe at that point.
Right, that's what I thought, but he ends up getting me anyway.
Yeah, like the thing is, you can scout really hardcore at this level of play, but a lot of the opponents will just do whatever as well. Like it's kind of hard to get really solid scouting information. Because, for example, one of the big scouts at higher level in Zerg versus Protoss is seeing the cybernetics core upgrade. So when they go Warp Gate upgrade. And then you can kind of determine if it's going to be a Stargate opener or a Twilight opener or a Robo opener. So usually with like Warp Gate upgrade starting right away, like this doesn't really matter too much. But if they start up Warp Gate right away, they won't be going Stargate. Long story short, like those kinds of scouting informations are really good at higher level. But if you like go against an opponent right now as well and they just go for like, you know, you throw them off of their build order or whatever, they will probably still keep going with that same build order anyway, right? Like they don't really mix it up too much.
Right, and I also have no scouting info either, right? So we're kind of like equal right now. You should actually make a YouTube video about that because I always am trying to figure out like how to read the scout, like to see what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Because I don't like when I see the cybernetics core, I'll understand. Okay, like are they upgrading? And then okay, they're going warp gate, so that means they're not going star. So you know, so I'll get ground units or whatever. You know what I mean? So that kind of stuff interesting to try to read. But I'm already down on like supply right now, so I have them like under like. So I immediately make overlords when I see him killing me.
Yeah, yeah. So like the biggest thing you want to scout for, and that's like the most reliable information, is seeing if they make an expansion. So that's like your biggest scouting that you're looking for. So scouting if they expand is huge. Like just seeing when they expand and if they expand is really, really critical. So that's why I'm like you know, mentioning that little pillar and stuff. Like you really want to put an overload over there so you can oversee their natural to see if they expand. Because it's probably, well, it's definitely rather the most reliable info you can tell. Like if they made a command center or you see a command center going up, I mean, that will tell you, okay, this is not going to be a one base push. Whereas like if you don't see an expansion at a certain moment as well, like it's probably going to give you the idea, okay, well, if they're not making a natural, I don't need to make a third base either. Because you're right, like as soon as that overlord dies, like right now, your vision, like it's basically blind, right? We know nothing at this point.
Right.
So everything becomes a bit of a gamble.
What would you do though, Loco? Like if I did see the expansion, I would get another base, right? Match or beat them a number of bases. But then if I knew that Terran was expanding, would I like kind of roll over there and deny the expansion, or what would you do?
Yeah, so say like you see the expansion, I think your best course of action at that point is just to take a third base and just go from there. Okay. So just going up towards like you know, an extra base more than them. So because right now, say like we go into a third base, like we did in the previous game, that's kind of like making the assumption as if he already expanded, because we don't really know for sure. So we're always aiming to be like one base up, and say like you would have seen the expansion. These Zerglings, I mean, they could have been drones if you wanted to play a more macro focused game. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay.
That is kind of silly.
So for this, like, right, like what I'm like, I kind of messed up here because I didn't see the Stargate, so I didn't know to not go lane. So this is what it kind of messed me up with. So then I instantly try to come up here and try to get in his base with the Banes. I'm already like at a loss right now, right? Because I need to make like anti-air, but I have nothing.
Yeah.
Right?
So yeah, at these kind of moments, like, so it takes 5 Banelings to kill a depot, or yeah, a supply depot. So that's like a good number, I guess, to keep in mind. Well, you know, okay, I was gonna go for a bit of a Baneling bust. It's not gonna work. You basically have to cut your losses and just, you know, go back to usually droning a Spore Crawler in this situation in every mineral line. So both bases and mineral line, and then extra queens. Got it.
I did have 5, but he killed him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So like right now, like this is never gonna do anything, you know? Like that's why I mean, like you probably are better off just cutting your losses here.
Got it. Okay. Got it.
Well, I think one mineral, one or two spores should probably be enough. But I mean, honestly, I don't even mind this too. Well, I mean, we're going a little bit too ham right now.
Yeah, do you only do one? Because like I always find with one in the mineral line, I'm always losing every time I have one.
I go with one, and then the queens on the liberators as well.
Okay, got it.
In this situation though, like since you know that there wasn't an expansion, like it's kind of similar to like the previous game that we saw. Like as long as you know he's only on one base, I mean he can only support up to like 20 something workers at most. So as long as you have more than that, it's not a big deal. But yeah, usually like one per mineral line should be enough. Like if you really wanted to, you can make two. But right now, like basically he's already killed like 9 drones right now before he even arrived, right? Because they are forced into spore crawlers.
I see. So pretty much he's ahead in economy right now, no matter what, because I made the spore crawlers and like we're pretty much equal right now, and I have no army.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I see.
And the spore crawlers don't get the liberators don't shoot at the spore crawlers, so you could just like uproot the spores and then
try to move them. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Like move them in this circle. So now we made an expo, and we do have like so imagine like we would like be able to send a Zergling over here or something. You could just start non-stop drone production again. So basically what we want to do is we want to get up to the drone saturation that we're looking for. So I would say at least 2 bases. So usually you want to aim for about 44 drones or so. So that's perfect for 2 base saturation. And then we want to start making armies. So that's what most of the macro builds come down to. Like you want to try and get the drones first and then start armies so they mine more. Like the longer the game goes on.
So I wouldn't even try to like mess with this expansion at all. I just try to be ahead in economy. So just okay.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's a really good idea. So usually 2 base saturation, 3 base saturation is really good. Now at this point, like we don't know, right? Like that's kind of like the big thing here. We don't know that he made an expo. So these 11 drones we made, like they're a bit of a gamble because we don't really know exactly what to expect.
I see. Yeah, I did try to get ahead in economy, so I have like what 29 workers now?
Yeah, you have 38. You have 38 till now at this point, so it's really good.
Oh, I have in the gas, yeah.
Yeah, good spending here as well. Are we gonna go Nidus?
Yeah,
I like Nidus.
So I usually like position my overlords there just for that kind of thing, right? Mm-hmm. Just in case.
Yeah,
if I see he's gonna try to take him out, then I'll take him out. But in this case, I think I end up going over there. I think I do realize that he had the expansion there somehow, and then I do another base. Maybe I didn't. I just go anyway.
Yeah, like at this point, you can kind of like, like he's been kind of passive after those 2 liberators, so we know it's probably something a little bit aggressive. Yeah, so I like the general idea a lot, man. Like the droning first, then army. It makes a lot of sense. Oh, we're putting banelings in there. Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I usually do. A baneling push in Nidus.
There you go. You killed 10 SCVs. Nice. Yeah, so I think
that, like every other game probably, depending on if I'm behind. Like that's the only way I get ahead, because I don't really know what to expect at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think honestly, like the best way to improve here is to like play a build and have like more of a plan, you know, like more of like a target to aim for. Because I mean, we're dealing a little bit of damage here, but you're playing pretty passively, I think, and you probably would have a much easier time if you were actually like also on his side of the map with your entire army and hit him at like a moment where you're really powerful. Okay. Because right now we're playing a little bit cautiously. And while that can definitely work out as well. Usually, I like it a little bit better to be the aggressor here because it just, like I said, like say you want to go for the +1 speed and the Roach, or like rather the +1 speed timing attack, like right when those 2 upgrades finish and then you hit with a lot of roaches, like you know what to aim for and you can actually compare your performance in that one game to the next one. So say like one game you hit him right with 160 supply and then the next game you hit him with 120 supply, okay, like something went wrong. Whereas right now, like it's hard to like, track progress, I guess, other than just like
what would you have done army-wise here? Because I went like mass roach, right? But I shouldn't have done that because he had Marauders, and then I just was trying to make units here.
Yeah. So Marauders deal bonus damage against armored. So Roaches are armored. Ravagers are not. So say like you have Roaches and you see, okay, this guy's going a lot of Marauders. You can just morph them over to Ravagers instead because they don't deal bonus damage against Ravagers.
Okay, that's good to know.
So I actually think this is fine. Like Roach Ravager, Ling Bane, and then Corruptor support works just fine. It's really nice. Like they almost counter everything.
Okay.
Yeah, so you see the third base going up, but he's taking the fourth base, you know, pretty much uncontested here. So usually, do you take your Evo chambers as well, like the Evo chamber upgrades?
No, so I don't even understand anything about like the upgrades really. Like I don't ever do upgrades until like late game.
Okay.
So, like, is that something you should do like early game? Like, what's the reasoning? Well,
yeah. So upgrades are huge. Like upgrades are absolutely massive. I can actually show you right in a second, like the strength of some of these upgrades because it's really, really nice.
Would you do that early game like this, like really early game?
Yeah. So most of the time, when it comes to like an attack, like for example, what I just said, like the Roach +1 speed, you basically go Roach speed and then the +1 missile upgrade for the Roaches in the Evo chamber.
Okay.
So. Like, basically, we're trying to make sure that you finish those two upgrades at the same time. So you're basically trying to line those up. So most of the time, you do get them pretty early, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so let me show you, like, a little bit in some of these instances. So, Roach upgrades, especially, can be really, really powerful. It's most notable, I think, in Zerg versus Zerg. Could you actually toss me the party lead?
Yeah. Try it.
There we go. Hey, by the way, guys, for those of you subbing, I will obviously read your messages and all that in just a little bit. After the coaching, though. Not ignoring you guys. Alright. LowkoTV unit tester. Yeah, upgrades are... like, they make a big difference.
Okay. Appreciate this, man. This is good stuff.
Hey, no worries, man. Happy to help. Yeah. Let's help you climb up at least to platinum. We can probably go higher than that, though. Should be fine.
So, how many games do I have to win to even get past like gold at this level? Because it feels like it's taken forever.
Yeah, I don't like. Basically, as long as you win more than you lose, right? Eventually, you go up. If it's like 50-50, like you kind of remain where you're at. I don't really know exactly what like the exact number is. Because it also depends on like what opponents you face. Like if you beat someone all of a sudden in Diamond, you get a ton of MMR.
Got it. Okay.
But yeah. Okay, so most of the time, I think a pretty common scenario in the early game for Zerg versus Zerg is say like you have a bunch of Zerglings or they have a bunch of Zerglings and you have a bunch of Roaches, right? Like this is pretty common.
Yep.
So these are Roaches with, or Zerglings with speed, and then Roaches that have no upgrades, right?
Yep.
So I don't really know exactly how this is gonna go, but I basically want the Zerglings to just barely win. So that way, I think this will probably work out quite well. Okay, hold up. We'll shave off like 5. Okay, so 25 links, 8 Roaches. And the only reason why I'm showing this is because I for like 5 years underestimated upgrades in StarCraft 2. They're actually still winning quite easily, but this is okay.
This is why I go Zergling early game.
Yeah. So now watch this, right? So the only difference we're gonna make is give these Roaches +1 missile. And the difference it makes in ZVZ is that by default Roaches use 3 attacks to kill Zerglings, but with +1 missile they only use 2 attacks.
Damn.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like I didn't realize this for like the longest time. So this is just 100 minerals and 100 gas spent, and all of those Roaches get way more powerful. So they go from losing to like 7 of them staying alive out of like the original 8.
Wow. Do you usually go Evolution Chamber like super early game? Like, I mean, how early game do you...
Yeah, so most of the time you go Evo Chamber with like Lair. I think that's a good number to keep in mind. But I'll go over like a build order here in a little bit that we'll practice.
Cool.
That will just, you know, line those up perfectly. Yeah, it's the same with Zealots. So Zealots, for example, you know how like Zealots attack? They like attack left, right, and then left, right again, right? Like they attack twice with their blades, and then there's a little bit of a break, and then they attack twice again.
Yeah.
So by default, so without upgrades, Roach or Zealots rather take 3 shots to kill a Zergling, but when you give them +1 ground weapons, they 2-shot Zerglings. So they like all of a sudden go through them so much faster because they don't have to like take that break in between.
Got it.
And upgrades really like they make in general like these kind of games much more powerful, or like these kind of battles way more powerful. I guess I can also show you like maybe like one that's more applicable to that previous game. So I'll make like a bunch of roaches with speed. Right, so that's like 70 of them. Okay, that's a lot. And then first off, we'll make like a similar amount of supply of Terran Bio, I guess. So this is, I don't know. Yeah. Let's see how this goes. It's not even a similar amount of supply, but let's just have them attack each other. So this is no stim pack, no combat shield, so I don't really know exactly how this is gonna go. Yeah, we need more Terran.
Need more Terran. Okay.
Yeah, I think we need a little bit more Terran.
I thought the roaches were losing, no?
You thought so? Oh, maybe. Yeah. I want to have a similar situation where like the roaches barely win it, I guess.
Okay, got it.
Okay, maybe like 5 more roaches.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, right?
Maybe like 7 more. Yeah, the concave here is insane. Like, just like
there's so many of them, yeah.
Yeah. Like all of the roaches are firing, whereas like the Marines are kind of derping in the back. So this is kind of like the army you had in the previous game.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think this is a pretty good example. And then, well, this is kind of awkward, huh? They're kind of derping out. Okay, we'll have to get a couple more roaches, but... Okay, we'll go 85. Like 85, and then we'll just call it quits. Anyways, final example for like upgrades. Let's have them just fight, and then in the next attempt, like we'll give these Marauders and Marines the 3/3 upgrades. So basically, they're engineering by upgrades.
Okay. So to be more effective with these roaches, would you like move them forward so they have like better range, like they're not concaving like that? Like you would kind of like micro them closer.
Yeah. Like ideally, you want to make sure that they. So concaving is actually a good thing. Like, especially with roaches. So the idea is like if you have a bunch of roaches that are derping in the back of your army and they're not fighting, like that's a bit of a waste. So sometimes you want to step forward a little bit. But most of the time, if you have like a concave, it creates a larger service area, so all of the units are fighting. So most of the time, that is what you're aiming for.
I see. Okay.
But yeah, like sometimes you need to like stutter step a couple of them forward, so you like move a couple and then attack move them, or something like that.
Okay.
Wait, so how many roaches stayed alive just now? I didn't pay attention, but roaches won, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now the bio has 3/3. 18 roaches stayed alive, Lowko? Okay. Thank you for paying attention, chat. So now we gave
so when they upgrade their Marines and Marauders, I always lose. Like every Terran game.
Yeah.
I can never beat them.
But just look at the strength of this stuff though, right? So this is like, previously the roaches were winning. And then now with 3/3 upgrades, like basically all of the Terran army seems to stay alive. So the reason I'm showing you is just like to show you the strength of upgrades. Like upgrades really are super significant. So that's 67 supply alive for Terran, whereas previously they lost, right? Like that's...
Wow.
It's really strong. Okay. So with that in mind, there's like a couple of timing attacks that are really good. I think the easiest way to show you is probably just by playing it myself. And then like you have to replay as well to look at if you wanted to.
Okay.
And then after that, I'll have you play the game a couple times, okay? So it should probably be a good idea. Okay, any map you prefer playing on? Any map you like?
No. All good.
Wait, you like Purity in Industry?
What's that?
The map, the Purity in Industry map?
I actually don't even know the map names. That's probably like a bad thing to say for everyone.
Oh, no, that's totally fine. It's like one of the new ones they added this season. Basically, it sucks, is what it comes down to.
Is this like the slow one, or no?
Yeah, it's what like with the big slowing bubbles in between the mains.
Okay, gotcha.
That one's terrible for Zerg.
Yeah, it's like I don't actually play on that one.
Oh, okay, yeah. Maybe if you did it or something, I don't know.
Okay, let me accept that.
Yeah. So.
Oh, listen. You don't want this. You don't want this, Loco. 1v1. Okay.
Okay. There you go. So I'll just set up a very easy Protoss opponent. So the goal is just now just to practice the strat, right? So we're just trying to optimize the build.
Okay. Are you gonna go Zerg or?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Thanks. Okay. So what we're trying to go for, the goal is to attack with lots of roaches. With +1 and Roach Speed right when those upgrades finish.
Okay.
So that's what we're trying to achieve. First off, though, we want to go drones first, then army, right? So the idea behind that, say you start up drones at the 5-minute mark, or you start up drones at the 2-minute mark. The ones that started up at 2 minutes got 3 more minutes to mine, and therefore they mined more, right? So we always want to try and go drones first, and then yeah, then you go army next.
Got it.
We'll go 4 queens, and we go link speed first, then Lair after the queens. So link speed first, then Lair. Anyways, I'll write it out here in just a little bit. Let me just show you, and then we can talk about it a little bit later.
Got it. Cool.
So if you, I think it's you can double tap 1 or double tap 2, then you can see my vision in game as well.
Okay. Yeah, I'm watching you on Twitch, so I could see it.
I guess that also works, yeah. There's a little bit of delay though on Twitch, but... Okay. So, first off, on this map, there's that little pillar over there.
Yeah.
So we'll go 16 hatch, 18 gas, 17 pool. And obviously in the game, I'll talk you through it as well, right? So it's not gonna be okay, now you do it! Good luck! Oh, sorry, what? I thought I started on Overlord, sorry. For some reason. It's not a good example game if I'm already messing up, in the first structure, or the first unit.
So, Loco, come on, bro. This is,
Yeah, I know.
You got 700 people watching, bro. You can't...
I got stage fright, man. I can't help it. Loco lost against very easy AI. Yeah. Can't help it, guys. I played too much Protoss these last couple of days.
Are you pretty equal on every race for the most part, or would you say you prefer Zerg?
No. My Zerg is way better than the other two.
Got it.
Loco trash confirmed. Yeah. Grandmaster, yeah. I just like spawning in the top section of the map better, guys. Clearly. Okay. So there's that little pillar on all the map.
Throw observer over there onto the... Okay, got it.
Yep. And then usually for the second Overlord, you want to put that behind their main base. So on this map, there's a little pillar over there too, but just behind the main base. So if you wanted to scout, we could do that.
Would you not try to scout for the cheese at this point?
Yeah, you can do that too. So if you prefer that, especially if you say you get cheesed a lot, you could put the Overlord in the natural for a little bit and see if they're gonna cannon rush you.
Got it. Okay.
And then you can send it to the back of their natural a little bit later.
So you 13 observer, and then as that's being created, you make the other drone, and they finish at the same time. And then you max out more drones.
Yeah. So it's 13 OV and then 16 hatch.
Okay.
So if you're worried about cannon rush, usually you leave that Overlord over there for until the hatchery is about halfway done. That's a good number.
Okay.
So I just rallied the 17th drone to the gas, and then the drone that comes after that to the back of the mineral line to turn into the pool. So we just make him like that. Okay, and then the next 3 drones will rally towards the gas. So our goal is to try and get that Roach Speed upgrade going, right? So we'll just leave the drones in gas right now. We'll just rally them in there, and then we'll go from there. We want to make sure, though, that we get 4 queens out first. So right now, for example, since my hatch is halfway done, I can move that Overlord around. Now there will be a couple of moments.
2 drones in gas?
No. I'm rallying 3 from the hatchery. So
okay,
they're coming basically. There should be 3 in them right now, I think. Yeah.
Got it.
So we just keep spending all of our larvae here on drones. Now, there will be a couple of moments where we want to go ahead and make a few units. So the first units that we want to make are going to be right when the pool finishes. So we want to make 2 queens and then 2 sets of Zerglings right away. So you can see right here as pool finishes, we can make 2 sets of Zerglings here. And then after that, we go back to an Overlord here at 27. So I'll write this down as well in just a sec.
Okay, got it.
And then we'll put that one over. Link speed first.
So how do you have the larva automatically going? So like when are you actually clicking on the larva and then like telling it where to go?
Oh, you mean like how do I have hotkey 1 with 2 sets of Zerglings right now?
So no, so like when you make like the drones, like you automatically have them, like when you make them, you're like instantly clicking on the like mineral line, or like how are you automatically directing them there and stuff?
Oh, okay. So I have my rally points of the hatchery set right now both to the natural, so they go there automatically.
Yeah, I don't get that. I feel like it never works for me. I don't understand what that. So like I'll do like I'll do that same thing, but it never works.
Okay, yeah. So you have like a rally point, like you have a white rally point and then like an orangey kind of rally point, right?
Right.
The orangey one is the one that goes to the drones, and then the others is for like all of the other units.
Okay. Got it.
Or do you mean like someone in chat is saying like Lowko, he means when you make units?
No, it's the rally point. It's weird for me, but that's all good. I'll watch you as you do it.
Okay, yeah, we can figure that out in just a sec too. Okay, so for now, like we can leave them over here, but we want to have this as like base defense.
Okay, so you always do like just a couple early on, just in case.
Yeah, like 4 is like a pretty good number. Okay, so I'm just gonna keep making more drones here until 32, and then we make more queens. So I've got 1 queen right now in the main, 1 queen in natural, and then I make 2 more, and then at 36 we make 2 more overlords. Okay.
So are you going to creep spread with those 2 queens? Is that kind of the goal? Like
yep.
Once they
so we inject once, and then like the new ones are going to be the ones that inject after that.
Got it. Okay.
Okay, so we keep making drones. Okay, there we go. And then after these queens spawn, we put those on the same hotkey group as well. So now I have 4 queens on 1 hotkey group. Then we go Lair. And then we build a bunch of stuff at once. So we want to go Lair, Evo Chamber, 2 more gas, and then slowly afterwards, or shortly afterwards, we want to go for a Roach Warren. So if you go for a Lair and an Evo Chamber right away, and you then go for a Roach Warren a little while later, and then, okay, this is like, bear with me, okay? If you start up in the Evo Chamber, they upgrade right away, and then when the Lair finishes, you start up the Roach Speed right away. Roach Speed and the Evo Chamber upgrade finish at the same time.
Okay.
So
you're doing Evo Chamber before Roach Warren, and as you're doing Lair.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're basically grouping all of the things together. So we go Lair, Evo Chamber, 2 more gas, Roach Warren. So the Roach Warren can technically be a little bit later.
Like, pretty heavy roaches is the goal of that, right? But you're not even scouting, so you don't even know what you would scout at this point too, no?
Yeah. So like I'm going up against AI right now, so I'm not really like scouting too much. But this would be a moment where we could definitely scout with that Overlord, for example, in the back. We could send in the Zerglings as well.
Got it.
This should also be the moment where we finish up Zergling speed. So we can definitely like say you wanted to like you scouted right now with link speed done. So that's the scout timing. You would like figure out roughly what they're going for, and if you needed to, you'd add on additional Zerglings, but most of the time you should be fine droning here for a little while longer.
So you're trying to play defense here? So you're not really going on the offensive. Like you just want to build up like enough of an economy and heavy roaches, like really powerful roaches before you do a push.
Yeah, so ideally like perfect. So in a perfect world, what we would want to do is make like 44 drones, which is perfect for like 16 on both mineral lines and then 3 in all the gases. So that'd be 44. And then we'd finally start making any units, right? Now, the only problem with that is that you die to a bunch of stuff. So, yeah, you don't really want to, like, go too ham on that in an actual realistic game. But, like, usually you want to, like, make a lot of drones first and then army later on. And the idea behind that is just, like, okay, if a drone is alive for longer, it mines more minerals. And therefore, like, my eventual army gets bigger. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess one question is, like, what it usually gets me at this point is, like, if they start going air, like, what would you do in that situation?
Oh, we have
then,
queens.
Okay. Yeah, but like if they went like mass air, like would you already have Lair, so would you go like Hydra and then
So usually if it's mass air, at this point in the game, it's gonna be like, well, at this point in the game, they can't have any air yet. So both Terran and Protoss don't have any air yet at this point in the game. Like it's only 3.5 minutes at this moment, right? Like we're not that far into the game.
Right.
So usually the first Stargate unit shows up at about 4 minutes.
Okay.
And the queens, like since we have 4 queens, they're gonna be enough to deal with that. Now, if they're going really heavy into the air, like say like we go for the push and it doesn't really work, right? And you have to fall back, yeah, then you can definitely go Hydras.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
But you basically, like ideally you don't want to stop droning. So that's what we're trying to get to. So we can do some scouting here. Just to confirm that everything is nice right now.
Listen, Lowko, the pressure's on not to lose to easy AI, man.
I already lost once, man. I don't know if I can do it again. The shame of my, that loss. Okay, so we see some units here. We could make a couple of Zerglings here, but I'm not, like, going too crazy. Okay, so we want to start a +1 here. That's really important. And we want to keep droning. So what we're aiming for is full saturation, both of the mineral lines, and all the gases.
On 2 bases.
Yep. So I made a couple additional units here as a response, but I don't want to go too ham on it. Okay, so once the Lair finishes, we want to go Roach Speed. And then when we are done droning, so I'm basically trying to make sure here, okay, everything seems to be kind of in check. Got a couple more Zerglings coming, a couple more Roaches or a couple more drones coming. This is the moment where we start unit production. So this is the moment where we just start making non-stop units. Now notice these 2 upgrades in the natural.
New subscriber detected.
They will finish up right around the same time. And we want to push across the map right when they finish.
Okay. So you keep creep spreading also. Just
yeah, we keep like I'm a little bit sloppy on that in this case, but yeah, ideally like you keep spreading creep all the time.
So 4 roaches for the most part always. It's like 1 on each base and 2 to spread creep.
Sorry, like oh you mean 4 queens?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you said roaches. I was gonna say 4 roaches is
yeah, queens, yeah.
yeah, so basically we just like at this point like yeah, we have 4 queens out. That's for base defense as well, but mostly also for like creep spread and inject. We really want to like aim on injects. And the reason I like this build and why I think it's good to like practice is because it will give you a number to aim for, right? So Roach Speed is done right now. We go across the map. By the time we get there, like that upgrade will finish.
I see. Okay.
So let's set like the goal of 6 minutes or so here. And we can compare supply, right? So you can have a look at like what my supply count will be like and what, you know, your supply count will be like. So with extra gas, we can morph in Ravagers. And then if we wanted to, we could reinforce with Lynx. So this push should hit about 6 minutes into the game. And in this case, like I've got about 116 supply. Now this is not perfect execution by me, but it just gives you like, because like if I were to do this build against someone in Gold League right now, we just roll over them. Like it, like it would be really like it would not be close because most opponents are just not going to be able to hold this push unless they're like really turtled on one base.
Yeah, that's what ends up like on Terran that usually gets me too. Like I'm losing if like they've tanked up like a lot.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like pretty much all the time because they'll just like super tech up.
Yeah.
Right there.
So we want to go and push right now. If everything is kind of normal. And what I mean with normal is, okay, if they also expend it, right? So you can test the waters if they're still on one base and they're like really turtling over there. But you don't necessarily, like, I'm not asking you to like send the roaches up the meat grinder, you know? Like, if there's like a couple of siege tanks there and they're just going to kill all your roaches, like that's just obviously a bad idea, right? It's like, well, I'm going up there because Lowko taught me to, like...
Yeah, Lowko. Yeah, like, we'll watch the next coaching session. Like Lowko, I threw the roaches up there, man.
You told me to push, man. With 7 siege tanks, like gunning away at my roaches. Like, what do I do wrong?
If they tank up, like, what do you do in that case? Like, if let's say this was one base and they're like pretty turtled up, what would you do?
Right. So real quick, hold up. Let me write down 160 supply, 6 minutes, Lowko execution. Okay. Yeah, so one thing we could do with this push is use this Overlord over here as well. Like, say there would be siege tanks over on that high ground. We can use the Overlord over there to provide high ground vision. Say there's a siege tank over there, we could like pop it just like that, right?
Got it.
So that's why that Overlord over there is really helpful too.
I see. What do you usually go for at this point? You just try to like knock out all their pylons?
Oh, no, okay, so we always want to go guaranteed damage. So guaranteed damage, whatever you get a run by is always the correct move to go for. Pretty much always, because like the worst you can do is like attack a Nexus and then they kill you right before you get the kill on the Nexus. You know what I mean? Okay. So you pretty much always, like with guaranteed damage, you're looking for like probes first and foremost. So that's like the best kill for economy. And secondly, like things like pylons and stuff like that. Now, if you can get a base, obviously it's great. But yeah, you want to aim for like the guaranteed now.
So you would hold pretty much over there, is what you would do. Like
yeah, like yeah, you'd basically just try and like, you know, get the most value out of it.
Got it. Okay, cool.
Okay, so let's go ahead and give it a try. Do you happen to have like a second monitor or maybe like a phone or something where you can like read off of the build as well? Or
yeah, I've got 3. We're good.
Okay, nice.
I just don't see it up, so if you wanna.
Yeah, I'll write it down real quick. So we go. Okay, so Roach Speed +1.
Listen, everyone on Twitch, don't kill me out here, man. I'm gonna do my best. As you were doing it, I was like hella confused. I get what you're doing, but it's like I've never done that build before, so it takes me.
Yeah, no worries, man. Like, it's gonna be a little bit different as well when I'm breathing in your neck, and there's a couple people watching on stream as well.
Roach Warren.
Yeah, it'll be a little bit different. That's why you probably also want to like practice it a little bit, maybe like later tonight or something. Like, just give it a couple tries. See how it goes, but
yeah,
like I can tell you like to relax, but I know it's always gonna be a little bit strange to like have a couple people watching. Okay, so we go 16 hatch, 18 gas, 17 pool, and then we rally 3 drones in gas. So rally 3 drones to gas, and then at spawning pool. So I always write it down as like at pool, which is usually like, at least for me, like a convenient way of reading it. But if that doesn't work for you, like let me know. I go 2 queens. So basically what we're trying to do is we get 4 queens ASAP. So what I mean with that is like we go 2 queens first, and then as soon as we can make 2 more, we go 2 more.
Got it.
But yeah, we go 2 queens, and then 2 sets of Zerglings. So that's 4 links in total. And then 27 Overlord. Then we keep droning, and then I guess I can write it down as like at queens. So at
27 like, Overlord, meaning I've already gotten drones. Like I'm just getting more and more drones.
Yeah. So like every single bit of space in between where like there's not any supply, like it's always drones. Yes. So 32, we go 2 more queens. And then at 36, Overlord.
New subscriber detected.
2. And then at 4 queens, so basically when the 4 queens spawn, we can finally morph into Lair. So we go Lair, double gas, Evo Chamber, Roach Warren. Actually, like we want to prioritize the Evo Chamber after the Lair. So I'll write it down like this. Okay.
So what is the purpose of getting the Lair that early? Just so you can like be ready for anything kind of deal?
Yeah. So the purpose of the Lair at that point is to, well, first off, like to not die to like, say like Dark Templar or something, right? Like if he comes in with a bunch of Dark Templar, we can always just morph in an Overseer right away.
Got it. Okay.
But it also enables the Roach Speed upgrade. Okay. So without it, like we can't get the Roach Speed upgrade. So that's really important.
Got it.
So at Evo Chamber, +1 missile. At Roach Warren, or at Lair, I guess, Roach Speed. And then when you have 44 drones, non-stop Roach Ravager production, or I guess Roach production, but yeah, Roach Ravager production. And this is like the really important part, push with Roach Speed and +1. Now, I've told this build a bunch of times before against, or for other people as well. There's a lot of people that like scare away with their Roach push right when like they see one liberate, or sorry, like one Void Ray. So say in this case, like I pushed across the map with my Roaches, and there's like 2 Zealots and a Void Ray, right?
Right.
You want to keep pushing in those kind of scenarios. It feels a little bit strange because eventually he's gonna kill your army, obviously. But you can just like, if they went for like a Void Ray first, you just have way more stuff.
So you could just take him out before he gets you, kind of deal.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
So just give it a try, and obviously we can restart. We can pause at any moment, like you know.
Yeah,
not too much pressure.
Let's try it. No pressure.
No, I mean a little bit of pressure.
A little bit, no big deal. Listen, man, I was born for this. Let's make this happen.
Cannot create game on an older version of the map. What just happened? Did we just have a hotfix while I'm streaming? It says that this is an older version of the map. Does it work now? That's weird.
Listen, man, any of these AIs can get on any map. Just put me on anything, man. Let's do it.
Yeah. Wait, did you get the invitation thingy?
No. It says waiting for. There we go. Okay, cool.
That is weird. Okay, I'm just gonna change the map.
Yeah, something's going on.
It's Blizzard. Like these, you know, it's a small indie company. Like, there's weird bugs in the game that I don't know. Did you get the invite this time?
It says waiting for party. I still haven't gotten anything.
Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and restart my game real quick. That seems to fix it.
I'll do that too. Just
yeah, it's a little bit silly, but turning it off and on again is pretty much always the correct move.
That's the way to do it. Hey man, by the way, I love your computer setup. I saw you did a post about it. It's nice, man.
Oh, I did one a little while ago. Yeah, I've actually like you mean like the setup page? Like on my website?
Like, yeah, your setup, like your monitors and the light and the whole deal. It's nice, man.
Hey, thanks, man. I spent too much time trying to optimize it. I go on these streaks where I watch these YouTube videos with like PC setups, you know?
Yeah, like
I don't know if you do the same thing.
TechSource and all those guys, like you look at all them and see what they're doing. It's like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you need to step it up.
Exactly. Well, you have got 3 monitors, right? So I'm sure you'll.
Yeah, I love 3 monitors. Yeah, all right. I just accepted your party invite.
I used to run 3, but I used to, like, for some reason I found myself getting distracted while in game. I don't know why. Like I kind of prefer 2 these days.
Oh, gotcha.
I don't know. I switched away from like 3 at some point. It's the biggest first world problem, man.
I can't do it. All right, here we go, Zerg. So all right, so you'll do AI. Okay, cool. Oh man. Okay, so I'm doing.
I'll like copy paste this as well on Discord, so you might like put it in a spot that's maybe more comfortable.
Okay, cool, perfect.
What does LE stand for, Loco? It means Ladder Edition. I always used to think it was Last Edit, but and Eternal Empire LE, it's Ladder Edition. The weird thing is though that these days the Ladder Editions maps are also used in tournaments. So there used to be a TE and an LE version of every map, but not a thing anymore. It's weird.
Okay, Loco, no pressure, man.
Let's do it.
I'm gonna like definitely fuck this up, so it's all
no
good.
worries, no worries, no worries. We'll just restart if it goes wrong. We're just gonna try our best. Might take like a couple of attempts.
Okay. And then I'm gonna wait, and I'm gonna do 14 or 13 Overlord, right?
Yep, we got 13 Overlord.
Okay. And I'm gonna do 14. Boom.
Can we restart real quick? For some reason, I got a really strange bug here. I have never seen this screen before.
Yeah.
Sorry, like that.
Man, I was ready to hit that build.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know why all of a sudden my my interface was like messed up. I've never seen that one before.
It's not good, man. I'm just messing with you.
Let's go again. Let's see if this works. No, not very hard. There you go. Yeah, I do like this, by the way. Just practicing against AI, like it feels maybe a little bit silly, but I mean, like say you execute it right now and you're at I don't know, 100 supply or something, right? And then the next time you execute it again against like literally no changes, right? Like against an AI once again, and you get at 105 supply or something, like you know you did a better job. Right. That's like 3 more roaches by the time your push hits, right? So, anyways.
So I'm pretty much like scouting over there, and then I'm gonna do 13 Overlord.
Yep.
Boom.
New subscriber detected.
Thanks for the great content.
14. Now I'm just gonna wait until this finishes, get 2 more Zerglings when this Overlord finishes.
Yep. 2 more drones. Yep.
And then 16, yeah.
And then 16 hatch. Yep. So we sent the drone down at about 200 minerals.
Okay. So I'm just chilling, right? I'm not making anything else. Now I'm gonna go down.
Yep. to hatch. Good. Okay, there we go. One more drone. And then the next drone, you're ready to gas. And then the one after that goes behind the mineral line to become a pool.
So am I not doing 2 more drones? No?
Yeah, you got 2 more drones, but like the next one you could rally to the gas, and then the one after that to become the spawning pool, basically. It's just a little bit cleaner. All good though, like no biggie. You can make 1 more drone? Oh no, sorry. Yeah, no, 1 more drone. And then we go
I see.
spawning pool.
Okay. So 17, I'm waiting for this other one, and then this one's gonna be pool.
Yeah, so ideally like we wanted to plant it down right at 200 minerals. So we're a little bit late on it right now, but that's okay. Let's just try and get the gist of it, and then we'll try again after this one.
And then I'm gonna do. Now I'm putting these 3 drones to gas right now.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Now I'm making more drones.
Yep.
Okay. So this finishes. Do I do? And I'm doing 2 roaches as soon as this finishes. Or
yeah,
2,
you keep making drones basically until the spawning pool finishes. We can't do anything anyway until the spawning pool finishes. So usually the pool finishes at 21 supply. We're a little bit late on the pool this time around, but that's okay.
So I'm doing 16 hatch, making more Zerglings, 18. Then I'm doing gas. Now I have 17.
Yeah.
And I'm taking that next one. So that's where I'm confused, right? So I'm doing 18 gas. I make 1 on gas. Now I have 17 supply. And then
right, sorry, say again?
So 16 hatch, right? Then I'm
yes.
making 2 more Zerglings. Now I have 18. That 18th goes into the gas.
Mm-hmm.
So now I have 17.
Mm-hmm. And then you go
17,
pool.
That next one goes into pool, or it's one of them that's already on the mineral line?
You can just pull one from the mineral line as well. Like so usually what you do is you go 16 hatch, then you make 1 drone, the next drone that will bring you to 16 again. That one goes to minerals. Then the 17 drone, so the next one after that goes to gas. And then the next one after that, you can rally to become the spawning pool. Does that make sense?
Kind of. Yeah. Okay.
I can show you real quick. Maybe that's a little bit easier.
I think I kind of got it. Yeah, okay. Got it.
Okay, yeah. Let's just do it again. Like it will probably make a little bit more sense this way.
Got it.
Because we were already a little bit late in the spawning pool. So we like the small little details, I mean, they don't really matter too much. Like what we really want to go for is you know, making sure that we put the timings down on all of those structures as soon as possible. Like making a spawning pool or a hatch, like say you make a hatchery at 700 minerals, that's like, you know, unnecessary. You don't really want that.
Do you want to be the team? Not me. Make me an observer.
Ah, I think you got it.
Okay, all right.
I'll try and like talk you through it. It's probably a little bit easier.
Okay.
So long story short, like we basically want to spend larvae as soon as they become available. Like that's always what we're trying to do.
Okay. Okay, so 1, then I'm gonna do so 1 drone.
Yes.
I'm waiting till 100 observer.
Yep. There you go. Then 1 more drone.
Okay, now I'm at 14.
Yep. Now we basically wait until that Overlord finishes, and then we make 2 more drones.
Okay, so I'm at 16.
Yeah, you can already hold down the button. So you can go like 4 or like 1 SD or whatever, and then just hold down the button, and then there you go. Perfect.
Okay. Got it.
And then at 200 minerals, you send 1 down to the low ground.
What's that?
At 200 minerals, you send 1 down to the low ground.
Got it. Okay. So that's 200.
Yep. You make the hatch.
So now I'm going to be at 15, right?
Yes. So after the hatchery, next one goes to the mineral line. Yes. The one after that goes to the gas. So go ahead and rally the next one to the gas. And then the one after that, where you want to plant the spawning pool.
So how do I... Can I pause?
Yeah, sorry.
How do I like automatically rally him to make the gas? Can I do that?
Oh, no. He doesn't automatically rally to make the gas. Like he basically, you still have to like click the drone and then make the gas.
Got it. Okay. So right now, right? I did 16 hatch, so then I had 15. Now I had 16 when I put him on the mineral line. So I made 1 more. So technically it's like, is it 17 gas? That's where I'm getting confused with the numbers, right?
Yeah, so, okay, yeah, so the 17th drone, so the one that you make right now, like the one that you just rallied to the gas, we make 1 more drone after that. So it's, okay, so maybe what's confusing you is like, we're not gauging it off of supply counts. or sorry, off of worker counts. We're gauging it off of supply counts. So right now we're at 17 out of 22, right? In the top right?
Yeah.
If you make one more, you're going to be at 18 out of 22. And that should be the moment where your drone that's rallied to the gas geyser finishes.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
So that would be 18. Okay, so this one that's going to gas would be 18.
Yes, that's got to be the 18 supply one. Yeah.
I see. Okay, got it.
So, if you make one more drone and then you rally that one to where you want a location or where you want to position the spawning pool, it will arrive there at 17. Because while you make it at, you know, up to 18 supply, because you spend one drone on making the gas, it's going to go back down to 17.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, like there's also, like this is, like we don't, you know, have to make this an exact science. Like you could also just pull one from the mineral line. It's totally fine.
Okay, so I'm pretty much just doing hatch. Then I'm doing make one drone. The next drone goes to gas. Then I'm hitting, you know, at 200, then I'm making pool. Pretty much, like as soon as I can.
Yes. You always want to plant down right when you have the minerals, ideally.
Got it. Okay.
Okay, let's do this.
So am I making one more? So I'm going to go...
Yeah, you should probably make one more. But let's pull one from the mineral line this time around.
I'm going to go boom. Okay.
There you go. Now we keep droning. And the next drones should go to the gas. So usually that's easiest way to like do it. But you can also grab from the mineral line. Totally fine.
Okay.
Okay, keep droning. And basically we always want to like keep spending the larva as soon as they become available.
Okay. Okay.
There you go. So our next queue is basically when the pool finishes. So up to that point, we just keep making drones.
Okay, got it. So I'm looking pretty good so far.
Yep, totally fine. Easy Grandmaster League mode so far, man.
So I'm not getting an Overlord early at this point?
Nope, we basically rely on the natural to finish up for supply.
Okay, got it. That's
so
where I don't do that, so that's good to know.
Okay, yeah. So spawning pool finishes, natural should finish here as well. We go 2 queens and then 2 sets of Zerglings. You do want to make a hotkey, by the way, for both of the hatches.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have 2. I'm
going to
go
link speed.
Link speed, got it. Okay.
And then we can go on Overlord here as well.
Got it.
So if you do it, so if you, sorry, 1 sec. If you like do it like absolutely perfectly and like you have the larva spent properly in the early game, like there were like a couple of minor delays, right?
Yeah.
You should be able to make the Overlord at 27 rather than 28.
Got it. Yeah, I kind of messed that up because I'm first.
Yeah, like things are, you know, but that's okay. Like this is just practice, right? So let's just try and like go through it and then we'll see how it goes. So let's just make an Overlord here and then we'll go from there.
Yep, I made an Overlord already, so that's good.
Yep, good.
Did, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so now I'm just waiting for that Overlord to finish, then I'm gonna go...
More drones.
More drones, okay.
You drone up to 32, and then you start up 2 more queens.
At this base at the bottom.
Now you got 2 more in total, like 1 in the main, 1 in the natural. So we can hit injects, then 2 more queens. Queen, and then 2 more Overlords. There you go.
I made 4 drones. Should I not have done that?
No, you're fine. So basically, like the first queens start up as soon as the pool finishes, and then the other 2 queens start up at 32 supply. So you did that perfectly here.
Okay, got it. Okay.
So queens are 2 supply each. You just started up 2, so that'd be bringing us down to 32.
Got it. Okay.
Game resumed.
Okay. Now we don't want to lose an Overlord. If you lose one, you're gonna have to make one again. So we might want to like make 1 extra one here.
Very easy, Loco.
No worries.
Man. I wasn't even paying attention. I just threw him over there.
It's all good. Okay. So let's keep the injects going. Sure. And now we can make more drones. So let's just keep holding down the drone button. There you go. Okay. So now with the queen spawning in the main base, we can go Lair. There you go. And now we build all of the things at once. So with the Lair, we build an Evo Chamber. We build 2 gases and then a Roach Warren.
And then Roach Warren, does it matter where?
Usually I build it as part of a wall off because I don't like having like units come into my base, but yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so don't worry too much about scouting in this game. Let's just try and get the good execution down. And then we once again go back to just droning.
Got it. Okay. So now when this Evo Chamber is done, I'm going to instantly start the...
Yep.
Okay. I instantly start the upgrade.
Yep.
I'm throwing people into the gas right now or no?
Yep.
All the gases? And
yep,
just keep
all of the
drones.
gases. And you keep making drones, yeah. So we aim for 44 drones here.
So should I do another...
Yeah, we should get some OVs as well. Yep.
So now I'm going to do Roach Speed also. Yep. And
Very
I'm
good.
also going to feel like I'm missing something.
No, you're
Lair,
fine. So we need one more gas here, because we now have full saturation, basically. Let's take one more gas, then a couple more drones for that gas, and then we start Roach production.
Okay.
There you go. And now we start Roach production, and then obviously Overlords as well. Now you might start flooding a little bit, because like this is going to be probably more eco than you're used to at this point in the game, because we've been droning pretty greedily here. But let's just try and get as much stuff here as we can. So let's just try and spend the money. So we need OVs and yeah. Good queen injects, by the way. Very nice. Yeah, so when making roaches, you usually want to make like, per inject, you want to make like 1.5 Overlord. So in this case, like you probably want to make like 3 Overlords at a time. Okay, got it. I usually don't do that, so that's good to know. Yeah. So standard is basically to make 1 Overlord per injecting queen. If you have, you know, like 2 queens, you'd make 2 Overlords at once. But if you're making roaches, like they're pretty supply heavy, we can make some more.
So I'm pretty much just going all roach with all the larvae I have, pretty much.
Yep, basically. Okay, and with Roach Speed finishing, we want to start moving across the map. So let's go.
Okay, I got a shit ton of roaches coming. Should I wait for those or just start moving?
Yeah, let's just start moving. You can set the rally point to the other side of the map of the hatcheries.
Oh, okay, just like that. Is that right?
Yep, exactly. And then we just send units across. Okay, so let's keep the injects up. Let's keep the overlords up.
So kind of like right over here. Can I do?
Yep.
Should I just start pushing without them?
I think you should just, yeah, maybe wait for like these additional roaches, but yeah.
Would you do Ravager at that point or no?
Yeah, like basically if, so say like I would be flooding gas right now. So roaches are like a 2-to-1 ratio in minerals and gas, right? So it's, I think it's actually 3-to-1. What is it? I'm not entirely sure. Like, but if I were to look over right now in the top right hand corner, like you have 2,000 minerals and then about 700 gas. That's about perfect to keep making roaches. Say like you'd have, I don't know, like 200 minerals and 700 gas. Like you could definitely go ahead and just make a bunch of Ravagers at that point instead. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So you kind of want to like gauge it off of like the resources you have.
Got it. Okay.
Game resumed.
Okay, so let's go kill him.
Mineral field.
Okay, now we want to keep rallying during all of this. So it's really important that while you're looking at these battles, you're macroing on the back of this. So we want to keep making shit.
Okay. So what I do here is I'll do that, and then I'll do shift 1 and add them to this, and then I'll just...
There he is. Yep, there it is.
But what it does is it does all the larvae. You know what I'm saying? So like anything else.
Okay, yeah. So one thing, like, let's just, okay, let's actually discuss that for a little bit. So right now in your hotkey group,
you can now support
Cinder
Lowko
Dreams
using Twitch Prime.
Yeah.
I will read your message in just a little bit, man, but thank you for the resub. Okay, so if you look at hotkey number 1 right now at the bottom of the screen, you see a bunch of larvae over there, right?
Yep.
So one thing you can do if you have a bunch of larvae in the control group is hold down Control Shift and then click that larva in the bottom selection of the screen and then recreate hotkey 1, and that will get rid of those larvae over there.
Okay.
So you basically hold down Control plus Shift. So Control to basically select all of the 1, and then Shift to like make sure you select those. Control plus Shift on the ones in the bottom, and then you Control plus 1 again to remake Control Group 1.
Okay, got it.
That makes sense in my head, but like if I have to slow down, like let me know.
I got you. Yeah. So go.
And then yeah, there you go. And now say like you want to make a bunch of overlords, and for some reason we want to add those to the hotkey group. I don't know why you want to do that.
Donation
so you
accepted.
hit 1.
Hi guys, I'm learning a lot here. Could you
you hit 1 Q or 1 S, and then I think it's E for overlords or whatever like your overlord production hotkey is.
Yeah, got it. Okay, I get what you mean.
Now I'm trying to like explain how like you add the units to the control group but not the larva. So say like you want to add, like, let's wait for that roach or that overlord to finish, right? And we make a couple more roaches. Okay, so the overlord is done right about right now. Let's go and hit. I think it's 2 for you, 2 for the hatcheries.
Yep.
Then you hit S, and then the roach hotkey.
Yep.
And then you control click on the cocoon in the bottom section of the screen, and then you shift +1 that one.
Got it. So you're doing that for every production like that mid-game?
Yes.
Okay.
So that way you prevent the larva from getting in there. Now, it goes really fast, though. Like, at some point, you already move your mouse over there in anticipation, and you, like, know exactly where to go.
Okay, so it'd be like this. 2, S, R, shift, or no.
Control, yes.
Click, got it, okay. So
it takes some time.
R, shift, oh, shit. 2, S, R.
Yeah, we're supply blocked right now, so, like, go ahead and give it a try. Like, make a bunch of overlords and just see how it goes.
I see.
Just don't kill all their structures, because then the game ends.
Okay. It gets, you know, something to get used to, right?
Yeah. It like that's one of those things that like you get used to the more often you use it. And, like if you use it every game, right? Like it goes pretty fast.
So it's 2 S R, control click, shift +1.
Yes, there it is.
Got it.
That's it.
Okay.
And you can do that with multiples, right? So say like you wanted to make 2 more roaches here. Yeah.
Shit.
No, you gotta, yeah, control, exactly.
Shift click.
Now, if you spend all your larva, you can skip that control clicking step, right? And you can just hit shift +1.
Got it, okay. Okay,
right.
cool.
Okay, let's try it again. Let's give it another try. If you're up for it, that is.
Yeah, that shit's stressful, damn.
Yeah, I know.
Build on the first time, it's like, that shit's stressful.
Okay, so let's try and beat like your record in this game, okay? So in this first try, you hit at 645 on their side of the map at 88 supply. So let's try and either hit faster or with more supply.
Okay. Shit. Listen,
and like this is the kind of thing like you can do, like obviously right now like there's, you know, it's a little bit more pressure, right? But you can do this like it's against AI, so like there's no pressure when you're just playing by yourself and like you're just, you know, chilling. If you can get you know, if you can get the timing down a little bit and you get some more supply before taking it onto the ladder. So like at that point you don't have to like look at the build order anymore either, and you just become fluent with it and then you start executing it. It's gonna become so much easier.
Gotcha.
Okay, you ready?
Yep, let's do it.
If you need a minute, like just let me know. Like,
it gets me. So
sorry?
like that's like early game like timing. That's what gets me with the hatch, the gas, the pool. But I'll get it down.
So don't worry so much about like let's just stop rallying from the larva. Let's just go 16 hatch, 18 supply, gas, 17 supply, pool. Like that's totally fine. No biggie.
Okay. Oh boy.
Here we go again.
Appreciate
Back to the pit.
Hey, for watching, like this shit's stressful when you've never done it before. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
It's like I've never done this build before, so it's like, oh shit. Okay.
Yep.
All right. 13. I'm not gonna lose this overlord this time.
Let's put it on that little pillar. Just put it on the little pillar. There it is. Nice.
So overlord. Boom. 14. Okay. So I'm gonna wait for that to finish.
Yeah, we're basically just spending all like on drones as fast as we can. So you can just hold down the button already. Yeah. There you go.
Okay. So 16. Right?
Yep.
You want to pause right there, Loco, for a second?
Sure.
Game
Okay.
paused.
So now I'm gonna do 2 more. Correct?
No, so you go 16 supply hatch.
16.
So we're already there. We're already at 16.
Okay. So now
Then
I'm
you
gonna
make
do
drones up to 18. So you basically just keep making drones until you see 18 out of 22.
okay.
Then we go gas. And then when you can afford it, spawning pool.
With one of them on, like one of them there. Got it. Okay. Or one from the spot from the.
Yeah, let's just take one from the mineral line. So just keep your rally point to where it's at right now. It's totally fine.
Okay. And then I'm gonna take one of those at 200. Got it. Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
now at 200 minerals, like between 175 and 200, you grab one of those drones and then send it to the natural to become the hatchery. Then you just drone up to 18, take a gas, and then without making an additional drone after that, you go spawning pool.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah?
Okay. Yeah. Let's do it.
Cool.
Game resumed.
Okay. Okay, going over.
Perfect. Let's set the hotkey up immediately. Yep, good.
So this would be, so pause right there, Lowko.
Sure.
This is 17, correct?
So if you look in the top right now, you're 16 out of 22, right?
So I'm making 2 more drones. One of them's going to gas. One of them's going to pool.
Yeah, let's just forget about that part for a little bit. Let's just go 18 supply gas and then 17 supply pool.
Got it. Okay, cool. Okay.
So just make 2 more drones. Like we basically just spend 2 more drones here, then we go gas, then we go pool.
Got it. Okay, cool.
Game resumed.
Okay, let's just spend the larva. There you go. One more. One more. There you go. And then we go gas. And then when we can afford it, we go pool. Perfect. All right. Now we keep droning.
Okay.
We drone. And then we should be able to finish up that pool to check if you're doing it perfectly. Like at 21 is when that pool should finish. So we can rally 3 drones and gas here as well. Like let's just send them in. Let's just take them from a mineral line. There you go. Just keep spending that larva as soon as it's available. Perfect.
At spawning pool, 2 queens.
And 2 sets of links.
And this should finish up and give me more supply at the same time.
Yep. Perfect.
Okay, so I'm at 21, so it should finish at this point with this drone made. 21.
Yeah, so we stop droning here for a little bit at 21. And then we make 2 sets of Zerglings and then 2 queens.
And pause real quick, Logo.
Yeah, go ahead.
Doing 2 queens and Zergling speed at the same time, correct?
Yeah, once we have 100 gas, we go Zergling speed. But for now, we go 2 queens and then 2 sets of Zerglings.
Got it.
Yeah, so 2 sets of Zerglings and then 2 queens. And then at 100 gas, we go link speed.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, cool.
Game resumed.
Okay, so we can go 2 queens. There you go. Then we go Overlord at 27. There you go. And now we go link speed. See how it's lining up like your minerals and gas?
Yeah. Okay, so now I just keep droning.
Now you go back to droning.
Okay, nice.
Cool. So now we should be able to drone to 32 and then start up 2 more queens. So once this OB finishes, there you go.
Okay.
Drone to 32.
So,
there you go. And then 2 more queens.
Okay, got it.
Inject once. There you go. Perfect. Second queen. And then we go 2 more overlords. There you go. 1 more OV.
I think I did 2. No?
I did 1. There you go. Okay.
So now I have 4. Now I'm gonna wait for these queens to finish, or I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna go keep droning at this point.
You just keep droning.
So
yeah. So as soon as the overlords finish, like there's one gonna finish in like 2 seconds. You just basically like all the time, like whenever like in doubt, you basically make drones. That's a good Zerg strategy, man.
So I'm just gonna wait till the overlords finish. When the overlords finish, I'm gonna make more drones after they finish, and then do Lair, Evo Chamber, double gas, Roach Warren, or am I gonna? I'm gonna do it all at the same time.
So we ideally we would like to start up the Lair right now, but we can't because the queen is still in production.
Got it.
Right.
But as soon as I finish Lair,
yes,
Evo Chamber, double gas, Roach Warren, then just make, because I want to spend. I just want to go all drones after that. But I probably
want to go all drones. Yep. We don't worry too much about scouting. So one thing you could incorporate is scouting with Zerglings right now. You could scout with Overlords and all that. But forget about all of that for now, okay? We're just trying to get execution down.
Got it. Okay.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah. Okay.
So at this point, we want to keep droning, and we go Lair when the queen in the main base spawns, and then all of the other things.
Got it. Okay.
Cool.
Game resumed.
Okay, we want to rally to the natural as well, by the way. So the main base right now, yeah, we can send that to the natural. There you go. Okay, inject. Okay, let's make the larva. Or spend the larva, sorry.
Is that right?
Yeah. And then in between, like, yeah, just try and spend the larva. So we're a little bit, like, that's one thing we can speed up here for sure.
So I want to do. You want to pause real quick? So I'm doing.
Game paused.
So in between that, so I did Lair, I did Evo Chamber, I did Roach Warren, and I did Gas. Did I do? I didn't do Roach Warren, did I?
We didn't do Evo Chamber yet. So we went Roach Warren, but not Evo Chamber yet.
Okay, so I'm doing that, and then after that's finished, then I'm doing all drones.
Yes. So ideally, like you can go all drones right now. So basically, if you wanted, so say like you want to do it perfectly, right? You take the drone from the mineral line, like say the one in the natural right now, like the one that's on your screen.
Yep.
You'd move it over to where like you want to plant down the Evo Chamber, and then while it's moving over there, you make the drones. So you'd go like
mineral.
Yeah, like well, I mean, yeah. So you know, like that in a perfect execution, like you'll work up to that speed, right? Like we're not trying to like get there immediately, but that's ideally what you want to do. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Okay, you ready?
Yep.
Game resumed.
Okay. Like Evo and then all larva on drones. Cool.
Okay, so I've pretty much got everything. So what I'm gonna do next is Evo Chamber, +1 missile, Roach Speed, then Roaches. I'm gonna put them into the gas right now.
Yep.
Correct?
Exactly. Yes.
Load up all the gas.
Yep. Okay. Let's get +1 going, and let's keep spending the larva. There you go. We can grow Roach Speed here.
Okay.
And then we can take the extra gas in the main base too.
I think I did already. Oh, shit.
No, that's cool. This is a good timing. And then we can make a couple more drones for that. So they have an observer here right now, which is why they can see it. That's okay. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Very nice. So now we are, like, we need 3 more drones, and then we're done making workers, so they can go into the main gas, I think. Or wherever. And now we can start non-stop roach production.
I see. Okay, so they would have been done up here, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay, overlords and then roach production. So try and always get in the habit of overlords for every production cycle first, and then units.
Okay.
So this is good, yeah. Now we spent the larva on roaches.
Got it. So when that's finished...
This is already smoother, man. This is nice. Okay, inject.
I feel like, no?
Sorry?
I'm pretty ahead this time, no?
Yeah. Certainly. Like, this is, like, spending-wise going much better as well. Okay, let's make, like, 3 overlords at once, and then we go more roaches. Okay, now with Roach Speed finishing, we want to start pushing across the map, so let's go. And then we set their rally points over there.
So rally point would just be clicking this, clicking the base.
Yeah, you had set... Exactly, yeah. You can use hotkey too for that as well, like your hatchery hotkey. There you go.
Got it, okay, got it.
Okay, let's keep spending. So that's the big deal, like making sure you don't start making sure you don't start flooding while the engagement is happening. That's really critical. Okay, let's hit the injects as well. Bum bum. There you go. And then we fight. Now notice this time around, like you have 700 gas and then 750 minerals, right? So we have way less minerals and similar amount of gas.
Got it, and I'm 25 seconds ahead this time.
Yeah. So, okay, so in your first try, you hit at 645 at 88 supply. And right now we hit with like the same exact timing push, 25 seconds earlier and more units.
New subscriber detected.
Like, this is already like a seriously better execution.
There we go.
So, yeah, that's really nice. So 620 at 96 supply.
Listen, look, I'm going for Grandmaster at this point.
Dude, do it.
So
fuck him up. But I think this is like it's teaching like all the good principles I think of StarCraft. Like for example, this is really like the moment where you can start flooding, right? So we want to make sure we keep spending that money here. There you go. But this is already much better, man. Nicely done.
I'm just gonna go into their main base, take out pylons.
Yep. And look at the mini map as well. Like, you got a lot of stuff moving here. And the nice thing about this strat is that you can do it on all 3 matchups. Like, you can do the same thing in ZVZ, ZVP, ZVT. Like, you can do it in all 3.
Huh. Okay, got it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so, like, say, hypothetically speaking, like, you'd not win here. You could follow this up. Like, say you wanted to follow this up right now, you'd have to go back home or whatever. You could go +2 missile and then throw up a Hydra den, and then push with Roach Hydra when +2 finishes.
So you pretty much prioritize the upgrades when you're like kind of at a loss. You'll just go air and ground, and you'll push upgrades. But you've already got, you're prioritizing the Roach.
Yeah. Okay. So you line up every single attack with an upgrade finishing, basically.
Okay. Wow. I definitely don't do that.
Yeah. So that's like that's pretty much what's the standard at like high level play, I suppose. Like that's what you see a lot at the pro level, and it's like really like so. One thing I personally ran into was like I wasn't sure when to attack. Like I never knew when to attack because I would always like basically play like the way that you were playing in the replays as well. That we were playing pretty passively. Like we'd have a lot of stuff, or I'd have a lot of stuff, and then I'd never push. So the best moment to push is pretty much always when upgrades finish up, because that's right when you have a power spike. You know what I mean? Like that's when you like.
And that's when I'll probably take them for the most part.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's when you're most likely to deal the most damage, because the longer you wait, like the bigger the chances that they're also gonna finish up their upgrades and match yours, and then it's just nullified.
Now, Zerg versus Zerg, do you usually go spawning pool before hatch?
Yeah, you could do the same build as well with spawning pool before hatch, and then just try and go for a similar approach as a follow-up. I personally do go hatchery first, but if you find yourself getting like Zergling rushed a lot, yeah, you can definitely also go pool first. Like, I don't know if you see a lot of Zergling cheeses. I
do all the time, and I always have to go Bane. Like, it's always like Zerg Bane versus Zerg Bane. It's like the worst. It's like just like that for like 10 minutes.
So you can do that as well. Like, but so actually, I can try and show you real quick. That's probably easier. You could mix it up in ZVZ and still go hatchery first if you want to give it a try. And you could make a wall off at the front. So by positioning your structures in a good way, you can make it a little bit easier to defend against that kind of stuff. Okay. So I'll go like Zerg. I don't know. Like I don't want to go like aggressive push because I think they're in just 12 pool or something. So I just want to show you like the positioning. Okay. It's totally worth, like if you're worried about your bases getting overrun, it's totally fine to go for a second Evo Chamber as well and just use that as part of a wall off. Okay. So here, I'll just show you. Like it's a little bit easier that way.
Yeah. I appreciate this, man. This is good stuff.
Hey, no worries. No worries. Look, how long does an attack upgrade last? It lasts permanently. So it's permanent on all units. So it's all game.
So 13 Overlord.
Yep.
Got it. 14.
And I'm already holding down the drone button right now on those 2 larvae. Now I'm playing from Europe, so there's a little bit of a delay there, but it's a little bit of ping, but yeah.
So you do 16 hatch.
Yep. There you go. And then I could rally this one if I wanted to the gas, and then the one that comes after that. So I'm just holding down my drone button here all the time. That one over there.
Okay.
So now I'm
in going to gas, one of them's going to pool.
Yeah, so the first one goes to gas, the second one goes to pool.
17. Got it. Okay. I see. Okay. This is good. It's easier to see it this way instead of when I'm trying to do it.
Yeah. Like it can be overwhelming, right? Like there's so many things going on. I get it.
So now you're doing 3 drones to gas when you finish? Okay, got it.
I just rallied them in there. So it's not going to be 3 out of 3 right away, but it'll be fine. And then once I hit, so right now I have 16 out of 16 on minerals in the main, and 3 out of 3 on the gas and then in the main base as well. This is the moment where I change the rally point from the main base to the natural as well. So, oh shit, I think you're the referee. You gotta unpause. There you go, thanks. So I've already re-rallied right now to the natural. Now the natural is not done yet, so this first drone might make like a long trip or something. But I don't really care.
So you're just maxing out 16 and 3, then you go natural.
Yep. That's why I like adding on the gases in the natural first as well, because we're not like, I know that main is already fully saturated the way I want it, you know? Like, I don't want to mess with that necessarily.
Got it. So you're doing 2 queens now?
Yep.
2 sets of Zerglings? Is that kind of what you're doing?
Yep. So same thing here. So in ZVZ, like, you could get aggressive with those. So you could definitely scout with those a little bit more. I like keeping them defensively against Terran and Protoss because, you know, Adepts and Reapers and stuff. But in ZVZ, I mean, I can send these across.
So you did 27 Overlord. Now you're droning.
Yep.
When that's finished, you'll do 2 more queens. Okay.
Yep.
So 30. So drones, 32, 2 more queens.
Yep. So I'm already queuing up the queens right now.
Got it. Okay.
There you go. Now, in ZVZ, like, you can make a wall using the Evo Chamber. Or I guess I'm gonna make 2 Evo Chambers just to show you, but we can make a wall with the Evo Chambers and the Roach Warren. Now, the only problem is that we need to get creep there and that you can't build on the creep tumor, right? So I want to make like a wall of, like, at the choke point in the natural. So what I'm gonna do here, oh, once again, sorry, you're the referee. What I'm gonna do is put down a tumor, like, right where this queen is at, so I'm not gonna block roughly what's going on when it comes to that wall off. So, oh, sorry, okay. I forgot making my overlords because I'm stacking. That's kind of dumb. Sorry, I'm gonna do an extracted trick. There you go. Makes me look pro. So I want to make sure that I lay down a creep tumor over here, right over there, so we can, like, spread the creep out a little bit further.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Lair, more drones, then Evo Chamber over here.
Donation confirmed.
God, I'm excited.
Okay. Go for a Roach Warren. Then we can go for 1 more Evo over here. And then I can plug that with, like, a queen, right? So say you wanted to go in with Zerglings right now, he would try to come in. Like, say, like, it's on his side, right? So he's trying to come in.
How do you defend that if he tries to come in with a shit ton?
So I would pull all the queens over here. And then basically, I have that queen. So once again, that comes down to, like, the hold position thing that we talked about over there as well. That queen is on hold position, so she's not gonna move as soon as Zerglings come up. That's actually really important when you have them in the wall like this.
Got it. And that's a Roach Warren and 2 Evo Chambers?
Yep, that's it.
Got it. And then the hold queen, pull all the queens to defend.
Exactly, yeah. So if it would be a Zergling rush. So I, also with ZVZ, like, you can see on the mini-map right now the positioning of my Overlords. In ZVZ, usually you position your Overlords in such a way that you can see incoming Zerglings.
Got it.
So I basically, like, I like to call it, like, the attack path, I suppose. So, like, if you imagine units running from his base to your base,
where are they gonna go?
Yeah, where are they gonna go, and how early could I pick up on them? So I'm basically trying to make sure that I don't lose my Overlords to queens here, but I'm also making sure that I can, you know, see incoming attack waves. So for this map, like, there's only 2 locations where you can move, so it's either at, like, my first Overlord or the second.
If you do see Zerglings coming in, you're pulling your queens, but what are you doing at home? Are you making any units? What are you doing?
No, I'm not making any units. I keep droning.
Keep droning.
Yeah.
You defend with the 4 queens.
Yep. And, like, say, like, okay, so if you unpause real quick, sorry. So say, like, I see, okay, it's gonna be, like, a fuck ton of Zerglings. I just complete the wall.
Just for now. And
yeah. So we can, so I'm not too worried about that. I can let that finish. So say that would be tons of Zerglings over here. I could even, like, if I want to be really annoying, like, put my Zerglings over there on hold position.
Okay.
This is gonna, like, be nearly impossible to break with Zerglings. Like, you can try, but by the time that, like, you push, I'm gonna have Roaches in there.
You're gonna finish your Roach build. You're gonna do same Roach build we talked about with the upgrade, with speed, and you'll just go over there regardless. Because, like you showed me, it beats him anyway.
Yeah, like, +1, like I showed you in that unit tester, right? Like, the +1 attack is insanely strong.
Smart. Okay, so this is where I have issues, right? So I usually, like, what if they go Bane at this point? Like, are you still cool?
Yeah, I was still cool. Like, then it mostly comes down to, like, so say, like, they'd be busting down this thing over here. Usually, it's gonna be, like, 1 wave of Zergling that gets past, and you can start producing Roaches against that. And then you kind of want to try and replug the wall. So if you can, like, you want to put a new queen in there, or maybe, like, another structure, or something like that. So that way, like, you can prevent it from you know, dealing critical damage.
Got it. Okay, got it.
But that becomes like that becomes more of like a micro battle, no? Like, you gotta be, like, really fast with, like, the move. So I could, like, hold position right now with these Roaches, and, like, this is gonna take so many Zerglings to break. Because I also have these 2 other queens, so if I needed to, like, say this one in the front is being attacked, I could just transfuse it. It's gonna take forever for Zerglings to kill that, because only, like, 2 Zerglings can attack that Roach.
And the Roaches in the back will help, and
yeah, exactly.
Cool. That's smart.
So this is not like the cleanest execution or whatever, right? But
do you typically always go Roach push early, like as a Zerg?
I like Roach pushes a lot, especially against Terran right now. And against Protoss, actually, like Roach Ravager pushes are also like still standard. Usually, so I think in ZVZ actually, like the Ling Bane like style is actually better to play. But it's mostly like, so it kind of relies on you also hitting all of the Queen injects and doing everything really cleanly at home while playing the Roach or while playing the Ling Bane style. So it's difficult to get there. Hey, so this is like an example, right? Where you might want to like back off because he's like, okay, there's a muta, right? What am I going to do? Against this push, at most, they can have like 6 mutas. And 6 mutas take forever killing this amount of roaches.
Gotcha. So you just push anyway.
Yeah, so in ZVZ, like, you want to always go, like, guaranteed damage again. So I split off maybe a couple of roaches. Couple in the main base, couple in the natural. Natural right now is already gone.
Got it. So you've won already at this point. Like, even if
yeah, this is certainly game over.
Or whatever. Got it.
Yeah, and if I'd be really worried, I mean, then you can go ham on the spores if you absolutely need to. Because, I mean, we know he's got 0 workers right now, right? Like, he's not going to do anything. Now, if you wanted to, like, create variety here, you could even go +1/+1. So you could go, like, rather than just starting up the +1 missile upgrade, you could go, like, +1 missile and then +1 carapace as well.
Okay.
That will make it, like, a little bit more upgrade-focused. And that might be something you want to experiment with a little bit if you feel comfortable with the build.
Is that the armor? That's that one, right?
Yeah, that's the carapace one, yeah.
Got it, okay.
So that's the like, roaches benefit from the missile and the carapace one. And then Ling Bane benefits from, like, the melee upgrade.
If this was Terran and you saw him going Marauder, you would upgrade a Ravager at this point, probably.
Yeah. So say, like, I would see... Oh, well, I'm supply blocked right now because I'm talking. But say I'd see, like, okay, this is going to be someone who's very, very heavily here into Marauders. I could, like, instead of following this up with more roaches, because I've got quite... Like, my macro here has been pretty good, right? I don't have too many minerals in the bank. I think I could follow up here with Zerglings and then morph in Ravagers instead. So they don't do bonus damage against Zerglings. They don't do bonus damage against Ravagers.
Got it. And if you saw it was like a heavy Marine push, you would stick with this, or would you go like Zergling Bane?
No, I'd stick with this, actually. I'd stick with this. So there are moments. So most of the time, the Marine Marauder army becomes really hard to kill with Roach Ravager once they go up to 3/3 upgrades.
Right.
But, like, before they get there, you should have already done 2 attack waves, right? So one with +1/+1 or +1, and then one with +2 or +2/+2. You know what I mean? So I would say, like, probably, like, 90% of the games are probably over before Terran gets to that position.
Got it. So you continually upgrade. Like, when do you do the next upgrade? As soon as you can?
Yeah, so say, like, the attack fails and we gotta play, like, a longer game. I'd go +2 immediately and then go, like... So say, like... Oh, sorry, you gotta unpause again. So say, like, the attack failed, right? I would start up +2/+2, throw up a Hydra Den, go 3rd base.
So you always pretty much just, like, late game, you're like Roach Hydra, pretty much.
Yeah, and, like, you can transition as well from Roach Hydra into Roach Hydra Lurker. And then eventually Hydra Lurker Viper. Like, Hydra Lurker Viper is one of the top tier late game compositions.
I don't know how the hell to use a Viper. Like,
yeah, we'll get to that, man. We can do that in, like, next month maybe, but like, you know, like, there's, like, different waves to it, you know, like, different, like, steps to the whole strat.
Right.
But honestly, like, if you execute the first attack wave really well, I can imagine, like, you win most games just off of that alone.
Yeah, this is good. This is way better because I think, yeah, this is way better.
That's good to hear.
Do you go Spore Crawler, like, just to be safe against, like, Banshees?
Yeah, so if you want it to be safe, that's a good question. I'll write that down as well. So if you want to be safe, usually the first Banshee shows up at about 5 minutes, and the first Oracle would show up at about 4 minutes. So what that means is you want to start up a Spore Crawler about 30 seconds before that. So if you want it to be really safe, and you want it to, like, make sure you cover all your bases, in ZVP, 330 Spore in every mineral line. So that's 1 Spore in every mineral line. And in ZVT, you can go 430 Spore in every mineral line.
I see. And would you just, like, sacrifice an, Overlord just to scout at this point? Like make another one and just see what they got going on? Do you ever do that, or you just?
Yeah. So you do want to start doing that as well, but I think for now you can probably just get away just, you know, making a lot more shit in them and just seeing how that goes. Got it. Okay. Because there are like some scouting moments as well. Like for example, you can scout really well. Oh, sorry, I wrote down Spire. Sorry. Yeah, thanks for that. There you go. You could like scout, for example, right when link speed finishes.
New subscriber
You can also fly in an Overlord to like make sure that
again.
you know, have the correct units and stuff. But honestly, I think that's for like next time, you know? Like, let's start with this and then...
we'll go from there, yeah.
Yeah, like, let me know how it goes, and then we can discuss, like, some more varieties and stuff to it. Because honestly, this is, like, the bare bones, like, for most of these threads. It's really good.
Yeah, this is good.
And, like, top-level players play this, right? Like, I've seen, like, Serral plays this kind of stuff, like, Dark plays this, like, all the top guys play this thing. Maybe with, like, some other varieties, and maybe they'll go, like, more Zerglings early on, or some of them will skip all the Zerglings, you know? But, this is, like... You know, it's not like a strategy that's only good, for example, in you know, in Silver League or something like that, right? Like, it's good at all levels.
Got it. No, this is much better, man. I really appreciate this.
Hey, no worries.
I think this is a starting point.
Yeah, I think it's good if you, like, maybe practice this, maybe, like, I don't know, if you need to, like, 10 more times, 20 more times, whatever, right? Like, it's you can do, like, 20 of these an hour. Against AI, especially. You can do a lot of these. Just basically execute it until... you're like really fluent with it and you can like really easily execute it without having to like look at your second monitor. And that's also like the moment where you could, you know, start incorporating scouting and stuff more, because you don't want to be scouting while you're still trying to figure out a build order. It just doesn't really, you know, help.
Yeah. Oh, this is much better, man. This is super helpful. And I could probably just look at this stream recording too, right? And just
yeah, that will be up on the vault as well, for sure.
Okay. Hey man, this is perfect. I think this just about covers it.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. Let me know how it goes. I'll go ahead and send you this essay.
I appreciate everyone watching on Twitch, like all my mess ups here, but thanks for bearing with me. Hey, next time you guys see me, not gonna be Grandmaster, but I might be Platinum. So let's hope on that.
Let's aim for that, man. Yo, let me know how it goes. And yeah, if you have like a replay you want me to check out, or you have any questions, just let me know on Discord, and I'll try and help you out.
Cool, man. Appreciate you, bro. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks again.
Hey, no worries, man. Take care. Bye-bye.